So how are you guys doing, everybody? First and foremost question, how many of you guys are from CA? CMA? Yeah. All of you guys are writing in May and June? Yes? Here, I know few faces. I have spoken with few people, but many of you guys, I don't know, especially from CMA, I think I wouldn't know. And some of you guys have interacted only in the group, I believe, right? Like all this drama, sir, morning batch, evening batch, weekend batch. Correct? Who is Ashita here? Okay, you're the one. Okay, fine. Yeah. So, first and foremost, guys, if you're planning to write in May or even in June, make sure that you study in a proper way and put a lot of efforts in this. If you have a college, please ignore. Doesn't matter. Okay, college absolutely doesn't work out for you. Focus on your CA and CMA. Are we clear on this? That is the first factor. And at least if you don't get serious now, there's a very less chances that you may clear your exams. Please understand. Okay, means like you may feel, sir, BCom exams are more important compared to CA. No, CA exams are the only one which are important compared to BCom. For BCom, you should study one night. For CA, you should study all the nights. There is a difference, right? So that is something which you need to understand. Okay. And for now, first let's have a small introduction. Okay. All of you guys have already completed CA foundation. So at least I'll not ask this question. Why CA? Why CMA? Definitely not. Okay. But I have three questions. First, your name. Next, what you're doing. Next, what is your goal? Works? Can we have this info first? So that even I will be knowing like with whom I am interacting. I know few names. 1, 2, 3. Suhas, Tushar, and what is your name, sir? Huh? Sorry, sir? Dakshit. Should I press this? Or should I say your name? If it's one name, it's fine. It's three names. Bhanu Kumar Yadav. Huh? Bhanu Prakash Yadav. Three names, right? Yeah. Fine, chill. So shall we start with this, guys? Yes, ma'am. Lakshmi. Okay. ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಯಾ from I didn't ask what you're doing, just CA, that's it, nothing else like BCom, nothing completed. Okay, then what is your goal? If you clear CA, you're done with your life, is it? Sir, CA ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು ಸರ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸೆಟ್ಲು ಹಂಗ ಹೌದಾ ಇಲ್ಲ? Okay, this is a misconception. Okay, see the amount of efforts you put for CA, right? Just make 100x. Okay, that is the amount of efforts you should put to be successful in your career. Okay, CA is just a path. It gives you a certification, it gives you a value, but over and above that you should earn a lot of other things. Fine. Yeah, so please never say CA is your goal. Fine. So your goal, sir, like I want to be the best CA. Okay, or I want to make some 100 CR, something like this, or I want to build a business. Fine. So that can be your goal, but like just doing a CA, it's a very small part of your life, right? So hardly another 3-4 years you'll complete CA. Done. That's it. That's the end goal of your life. No, right? So there's a lot of things which you can consider to do, right? So you should take a call on that. Fine. Yes, ma'am. Ranjita? C is already there. Singer. Oh, okay. So you don't know Kannada or you know Kannada? Kannada ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. Fine. Great. Yeah. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? BCom ಮುಗಿದಿದೆ. Okay, then. CA ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೆ sir, but considering whatever you have said, we should think. Two different things. Hinge, like you complete CA and you give that certificate to your dad. See, now I will start Bharatanatyam. Something like that. That's the idea. Fine. Let's hope that you will do it. Cool. Sir.
My name is Tushar. And BCom also. My goal is to die rich.
Your goal is to?
Die rich.
Like Rocky Bhai is enough or something more? Huh? More than Rocky Bhai. Ambani?
Happy.
See, either you can be happy or you can be rich. Both the things will not work out. Have you ever seen Ambani smiling? Ever seen? Huh? Exactly, right? How Ambani will do that? He will think about 100 things. Correct. So, rich or happy?
There should be a balance.
Difficult, sir.
I find it.
Fine, let's hope for it. Okay.
My name is Vas. CNC.
Both C and CMA. Fine, huh?
My goal is to earn 8,000. 8,000 crores.
8,000 crores. What is that exact 8,000 crores? Is there any specific reason?
Billionaire.
To be a billionaire. Then it should be 8,300 crores.
To reach that level.
It's chalega, like sir. 8,000 reach ಆದ್ರೆ 8,500 ಆಗಲ್ವಾ? Fine, done, yes, sir. Vasakrishna. Nice name, huh? BCom also. Okay. Your goal is to business. What business? ಅದನ್ನ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಸರ್. ಫಿಗರ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಹಾ? ಹೌದಾ? Done, sir. Okay.
I'm Darshan. I'm doing what's here.
Are you really Dakshit?
Yes, sir. And
ಹೌದಾ?
it's whatever you want to take it.
ಸರಿ ಸರ್.
And I have any goal.
You?
I don't have any goal.
You don't have any goal. What is the purpose of your life?
Nothing.
Why are you living then? Huh?
Just like that. Like
Just like that?
living, I'm living.
I will stop. Yes. Sushma. See you only. CA ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಜಾಬ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಫೈನಾನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟು ಕ್ಲಾರಿಟಿ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ. ಸರ್ CA ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಫೈನಾನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಆಡಿಟ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. ಯು ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆನ್ ದಟ್. If you get a tax job, you will not go. You know how much money is there in tax? Yeah. Whatever the scams which happen in India, right? Majority of the scams are connected to one thing, that is tax. Reason being, somewhere we pay more than 30 to 40% of our income as taxes. Everybody wants to save that money. Correct. So, if you can be that person, understand how much money you can earn. Chances are there. Just that you are supposed to have a brain there. Fine. Yeah. So we'll discuss about all that. But yeah, like see, don't be clear, sir. This is what I will do in life. You don't know that. Like in the future, you don't know what you like or what you don't like. Fine. So you need to be open to opportunities, figure out what works, what doesn't work. Just take a chance. Okay. Intermediate. Okay. One person opening the firm. Yes, ma'am. Please do. Huh? Competitor. Think. Yeah. Just try to stay. Huh? Partners. So you guys already decided it. Wow. Bindu and Trisha associates, is it? Yes, ma'am. Okay. Start. Finance. Okay. Start finance means what? Loan. Like something like a NBFC. Good idea. Huh? Arpita. CM is a part of your life. Huh? Social welfare. To do social service. Why CMA, ma'am? See, if you want to do social service, why are you spending a lot of time, in learning finance and all this thing? Oh, so you want to be rich, then you want to do social service. Fine, yeah. Abhishek. See? Both. Okay. Business. You want to start business. Prajwal. Chikmagalur. Okay, fine. Huh. Hmm. ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? IRS. IRS IAS. ಹಾ UPSC ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಯಾಕೋ CA ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? ಏನಪ್ಪ? Fine, sir, done. Huh?
IRS officers are always from the IIT and technological approach, but it is the person needs this from a professional background.
Like,
It's a financial mindset, you know.
okay, so you want to bring that change. So someone who is a CA is also an IRS. Something like that you want to do, is it?
That time financial control.
Sir, government job stability ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡಿ sir. No. Government job stability, it's a joke. I'll say, sir, what are you speaking? Like our parents are ready to, get me married to someone who is having a government job. Till date it is there. But we speak about stability. Okay. See, stability is not the point. But at least like, so from finance background, you again want to get into IRS. Good idea. But my question is, ICA will not pass, sir. Okay, you want to pass your exams, but ICA is like, no, we will not pass you. They will make sure that you should wait. Correct, right? And the same thing again with UPSC exams. So you will spend 10 to 12 years of your life just writing exams only, no? Huh?
It will be a financial stability.
CA gives you financial stability, IRS will give you. Fine, sir, done. Okay, cool. Goal is to start own business. You want to become? You can be both. You have the opportunity. Great. Sai Kumar. You know Sai Kumar in Karnataka? Huh? Because Sai Kumar sound ಈ ತರ ಬರಲ್ಲ sir. BCom first year. ಯಾವ college? Nitte. Okay. So what is your goal? Guru, CA goal, fine. CMA goal, fine. What is it? BCom complete ಆಗೋದು ಒಂದು ಗೋಲಾ? ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯಾ? ಸರಿ ಸರ್, ಡನ್. ಎಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. So you are not independent now? Actually, you are not. Okay, fine. So finance will give you independence. So because you are a qualified CMA, you have the opportunity to earn money. Correct? So you make a lot of money. That's how you get independent. Correct? How much money will give you independence? You know the answer. You know it or you don't know? You don't know. Fine. You're in a good position. At least don't say, sir, 8 crores, I'll get independent. Don't say that. Okay. Yeah. All these are finance influencers. They're just saying it, but that's not the reality. Okay. Independence, the way it works is totally different. Fine. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. So there are no successful cost accountants now. There are, right? Okay, fine. So that is your goal. That's it. To be a successful cost accountant. That's it. No criteria on how much money I should make, all these things. No. Okay. Yes, sir. Ashwin. Third year? BCom. Final year. Okay. Huh. Goal. Just want to? Interesting. Okay. Cool. To be a cost of content. That anyways you are going to be, right? Correct, right? Guys, see, please understand. Okay. Preferably, I think I will not say it repeatedly. Okay. Normally in the CA foundation classes, this happens on a repeat mode. But completing CA, completing CMA, completing BCom, or saying successful, this can't be your goal. This guy said, sir, I want to die rich. Yeah, that is one kind of a goal which you can have. Reason being, like, you never know when you are going to achieve it. You know, you are going to achieve it one or the other day, right? CA you may achieve, correct? CMA you may achieve. Now the question comes, what after CA? You're a CA tomorrow. Okay, at 12 p.m. you get a result, you're a qualified CA. So what will happen after 12 p.m.? Have you ever thought of it? What will happen after 12 p.m.? Think ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಪ್ಪ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? After 12 p.m. what will happen? See, 11:59 you are not a CA. Okay, fine. You'll cut a cake then. Flavor decide ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ ಅಥವಾ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ? Okay, fine. Anyone around you? Are you sure? Okay, fine, done. Then what is changing? Okay, all these things will happen for around 3 hours. Then
Will take me to 8,000 crores. I would have
Correct.
decided by then.
correct, right? So see, his goal is not to complete a CA. His goal is around 8,000 CR or 8,500 CR for that matter, or even solo 10,000 CR by the time you become a CA. Correct, right? Inflation. So now the interesting part is, like, CA is a very small goal of your life. Correct, right? What happens, like, once you achieve it, right? Immediately after that, you're like, okay, what next? You're like, I don't have anything in life. That point will come. So over and above that, there should be something. There are two reasons why I'm saying this. Because all of you guys will put efforts. Everyone will try your best to be a CA. But there's a chance that you may not be. For multiple reasons. Like you may not have an interest. By the time you get into articleship, you may feel like, no, this is not my cup of tea. Or you will become a CA. After that, you may not enjoy your job. All of you guys have heard of Aman Gupta? Who is Aman Gupta, ma'am? Who is Aman Gupta, ma'am? Aman Gupta. Never heard of it? How many of you guys are using boat earphones? Boat. Who is the founder of boat earphones? Aman Gupta. Okay, he is the founder. Fine. Now the interesting part is he is a CA. He did work being a CA for 5 to 10 years. Later on, he got bored with it. Like, what will I do with my CA career? Let me start this company, lifestyle-based company. Correct, right? So something like this keeps happening. So you can't say a particular qualification or a particular thing should be your goal. Getting the point? So when he says 8,000 crores, once he reaches 8,000 crores, right, he will not stop there. Over and above that, he feels like, I have achieved 8,000, but this girl is achieving 10,000. I should achieve 10,000. That's a never-ending goal. So after death, do you have anything to do, sir? No, right? That's the end point, right? So that is the last point for him. So he want to die rich. So how rich? He should define it. Correct? So think on something like this. But you can say, sir, my objective is to be a CA. My objective is to be a qualified CMA. Getting the difference between a goal and objective now? Objective is specific. Goal is not going to be specific. Clear on this? Make sense? Okay. So which subject are we starting with? Costing. What is cost? As usual, the first question, what is cost? Expenditure. Now, what is expenditure? First thing, guys, some rules in the class. You can be absolutely free when it comes to asking questions, when it comes to discussion. In the class, the way a class goes is, directly we will not get into a topic. We will discuss a lot of things. Then we will connect that lot of things with a particular concept. So that you'll be able to understand. Okay, first thing. And whatever we study here, you'll get a lot of extra knowledge which you won't get in any other class. That much I can promise you. But about the book, only if you read the book, you'll be having a clarity. If you just listen to the class and if you say, no, I learned everything, no. The classes will be fascinating. But by the end of the class, you're like, I don't know what I studied. He taught me so much, but what he taught is not there in the book. You will feel that. Fine. So whatever we study here, make sure you guys will read the book once. Fine. Immediately. If you do that much, it's more than enough. You are going to pass your exams. Fine. Yeah. So there will be a lot of questions from my side. Please try to answer and try to open up as much as possible. Because only if you're opening up, only if you're thinking, you'll be able to complete this particular course. Fine on this? Yeah. What is cost? So subject is something like cost, management, account, and also ink. First question, as usual, what is cost? Tell ma'am, Ashita. Cost is something?
Because manufacturer will provide service.
Provide service.
Whatever we incur, we incur.
Whatever you incur in that process is called as cost. Any other answers? ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಬೇಜಾರಿಲ್ಲ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. And yeah, how many of you guys are Kannadigas here? Please. I mean, how many of you guys understand Kannada properly? No discrimination, I'm sorry. But yeah, so that like I will understand to what extent I should speak Kannada. Fine? So is it okay if I'm speaking Kannada? No, not okay. Sir, learn Kannada, sir. Come on. How many of you guys are ready to teach him Kannada? ಇದಕ್ಕಾದ್ರೂ ಕೈ ಎತ್ತರು ಸರ್ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ರೈಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಆಸ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಯು ಟು ಟೀಚ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಹಿಮ್ ರೈಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ರೈಟ್ ಉತ್ತರ ಕನ್ನಡ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು 4 ಬೈಗಳು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು ಫೈನ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಎಸ್ ಸರ್ ಲರ್ನ್ ಇಟ್ ಯಾ ಓಕೆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ದಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಬಟ್ ಡೂ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಲರ್ನ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಫೈನ್ ಚಲೋ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ yes minus yes. Any other answer? Interesting answer, right? Cost and answer. Cost.
Cost is the expenditure for the manufacturer and power individual to procure a product or to produce
To procure a product
or to
or to
purchase for mixed procurement. What are the price that paid this product is the cost, but for manufacturer, when it comes like I'm paying the price, but for me it's a cost, but it's a price because it includes both cost and profit. So what and all expenses are being incurred by him for this procurement is cost for him.
it's a cost for him, right? Pakka? Very good. How many of you guys understood this? How many of you guys understood what he said? Very good. Understood what he said? Half of. Can you give it a try again? What is cost? Expenditure incurred for the production, okay. For consumer, it is a cost. Fine. Anything else? Yes, ma'am. Cost. 1 minute. You made a mistake. For producer, it is a ulta, right? Yeah, exactly. For producer, it is a price. Are you sure? See, I'm the producer. I incur money to create this. He's a buyer. He spends money. So according to him, he will pay me what? Price or cost? What am I incurring? Cost. Fine on this? Yeah. What is cost, ma'am? Expenditure spent on product. So to manufacture this book, we need to spend some money, correct? Yeah. So let's say there's a factory somewhere in Pina, somewhere like that. Now the interesting part is there is a watchman over there. For that watchman, we pay around 15,000 rupees. So is that a cost or it's not a cost? It is a cost? It's not a cost. What is that then? For that watchman we pay money, right? What is it? It's an operating. Fine, ma'am, but like, is that a cost or it's not a cost? It's not a cost. Okay. So I'm teaching here. This fan is running. So there's electricity which is going on. So is that a cost or it's not a cost? Cost. How many of you guys say it's a cost? How many of you guys say it's not a cost? You can be confident enough. You can be correct. Okay. So to manufacture this book, do I need a watchman or I don't need a watchman? Guys, speak. Speak. To manufacture this book, do I need a watchman or I don't need a watchman? I don't need a watchman. But for that factory, do I need a watchman or I don't need a watchman? I need a watchman. Somewhere, is it correct? We need it, right? Fine. So let's take one product. You guys define any product, like it can be book, or we can take calculator, or we can take smartphone. Out of these three, which one do you guys want to go ahead with? One is book, smartphone, and calculator. Which one? Let's try to manufacture any one product out of these three. Can we do that? How many of you guys are okay to go with smartphone? Let's try to manufacture smartphone now. Can we do that? Possible? ಕೈ ಎತ್ತರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ರು books easier, huh? Sir, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಸ್ಮಾರ್ಟ್ಫೋನ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. Components are too high ಇದೆ. Fine. Which one? Books, smartphone, calculator. Fine, books. How many people are okay with it? It's very easy. Books is very easy thing. Calculator. Already done. Smartphone. Fine. So shall we go with books only? All of you guys take a book. Okay. Take the last page. Book ಎಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ. So to run this business, manufacturing of this whole book, all these products, what are all the resources we need? Can you guys start writing down every minute details? Like you need a wood, you need a machinery, you need laborers, you need a factory, you need electricity, you need water. Whatever comes to your mind, can you guys please write it down? You have exactly 2 minutes of time. Exactly how much time? 2 minutes. See, costing is one such subject where you already know a lot of things because you are in the public. You are, using costing on a daily basis. Just that we should channelize it. What is first? What is second? What is third? How do we utilize the costing part? Fine. So try writing down the points. How many of you guys are done? Sir, I couldn't find anything more than this. This is it. How many of you guys are done with this? Done? Guys, done? How many of you guys actually imagined a plant, a manufacturing unit? You are there, you saw around, okay, what are all the things which are required? What things will be there in that plant? Did you guys try to imagine that? Did you guys find something new over there? Okay, these things are required. Correct? Fine? Okay. So in that case, tell me some pointers which are required here. Like, what are the first few things which we may need? Raw materials. Then land, okay. Capital. Then I couldn't hear you now. Say it, fine, yeah. Next, employees, labor shall be right. Okay, then machinery, okay. Fine, then electricity. Shall we write electricity? Is it required or not required? Okay, then inter intermediaries. No. Basically the founder, right? The CEO, the CFO, CXO of the companies. Let's just say employees, it looks much better, correct? Entrepreneur and all, like, it just looks nice. Correct, no? Fine, then what else? Do we need? Huh? Transportation with petrol and diesel? With petrol and diesel works. What else? Hmm? Go on. So land is there. No, okay, chalo, we'll write building. Works? Building is nothing but again a factory for your information. Chalega? Okay. What else? Chalo, we'll write that also. Otherwise, agents will not do the selling part, correct? Then advertisement, okay. Then building, chalega. Then advertisements. Huh? Research and development. Chalo, designers, okay. Sorry, sir. Catering. Okay, fine. Sir, building. ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾ.
It's a remote location, it's a far location, I have to put the road, like for transport, getting materials.
Sir, why will I do that, sir? Like government is there for that, right? Okay, I will build. Okay, fine. I'll build road also. So that like we need a good air, right? So trees also, sir. We'll try to be Ashoka. Sir, we'll try to be Ashoka. Roads done, trees also done.
Sir,
No.
we won't be inside the building, sir. So like your manufacturing.
Correct.
plant, there is too much of difference between
Correct, yeah, yeah.
plant and road.
Yeah,
That road I am speaking of, not
Done.
the highway road.
done, sir. So in that road, we need trees or we don't need?
Please, no need. What's the point of that?
Sir, how will we get a good air?
Depends on nature, why have to plant and do? Stupid, like, not,
What did you just say? Plant stupid thing.
why have to do?
Sir, do you know you are surviving, right?
Yeah.
You are breathing, right?
Yes, sir.
There is a tree.
Yes, sir.
That's the reason you are surviving.
For manufacturing, what I need there, sir. like,
Sir, you
for
need it,
manufacturing,
sir. If see, like there are a number of things. You need water. You need, air. Okay, you need land. All these things are required. For
I'm
sure.
taking- sir, I'm not taking for that. You're not taking the point. Sir, like, sir, what's that, sir? I have to end the profit by selling my product. Why have to get?
Have you heard of Jamnagar? Jamnagar? No. Have you heard of Mukesh Ambani? Mukesh Ambani. Appa, Mukesh Ambani. Mukesh Ambani, you know? You know? He has the whole plant in Jamnagar. You know about that? Yes or no? Try to do a research about it tomorrow. Done? You should do. Like I'm suggesting it to everybody. You guys should literally do the research on what is Jamnagar, how it has been built, how Anant Ambani's life, childhood was there. All these things you guys should really learn out of it. Okay? Like just Animal movie is not an example. Mukesh Ambani is the real example. What a dad can do to that son. Fine. So check out that. Fine. Give it a try. Fine. Sir, you said road, I said trees. Let's take both. We are not doing charity here. We are doing it for our own benefit. Fine. We will learn. What else is required? Huh? Insurance. Okay, fine. Good. What else? Huh? Bank. No. Again, I'll come to this point. To run a business, we don't need a bank. We need a bank, just that they should give us the money. We need not build our own banks, right? Not required, right? Yeah.
Fuel in place of
Petrol and diesel, sir. ಬರ್ದಾಗಿದೆ.
generate. And
ಜನರೇಟರ್ ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಹಾಕ್ತಿವಿ? ಪೆಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಹಾಕ್ತಿವ ಡೀಸೆಲ್ ಹಾಕ್ತಿವಿ? ಡೀಸೆಲ್ ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ ಡೀಸೆಲ್ ಅಂತ.
All petroleum products.
Sir, you said it, we are listening to it. All petroleum products, right? Including transportation, including generators, including every other stuff. Water I have already written, no? Fine, water also is required, sir. What else? Huh? Sorry? Repair cost. Let's not write it now. Let's wait for it for some time. Anything else? Any other points which you guys can think of? Anything else is there? No? Now my next question is, you guys have all these things, correct? To manufacture this book, what is required? Just to manufacture this book, what is required? Raw material? Huh? Labor? Machinery? Electricity? Don't say employees, please. Don't say employees. Labors. Fine. See, to sell this, to run the organization, we need employees. To manufacture this, we need what? Labors. Fine on this? Clear? Capital, okay, fine. Land also, okay, fine. Done. Clear? Huh? Fine, done. Then what else? Huh? Designers, okay, done. Then advertisements, definitely no. Agents commission, definitely no. R&D, maybe yes or no? Think and answer. Maybe. So not. R&D not required. To manufacture this book, already R&D will be done, right? Correct? Make sense? Exactly. I'm coming to that point next. I'm coming. Like out of these points, whatever we have written, right? At least we will only need 3 to 4 things. All the other things are waste. We will discuss about it. Fine. So in that case, design is required or design is not required? Design is already done to manufacture this book, correct? What else is required? Road trees are required? Possibly not, correct? To manufacture this, we don't need it, correct? Yeah. Insurance also is not required. Do you guys agree on this? Until here, are we clear? Make sense? Have a clarity? Okay. Then moving forward. In this book, when you're holding this book, can you feel the raw material, guys? You have a raw material in this, right? See, that raw material itself is a book, correct? But because of raw material, only finished product is coming, correct? Yes or no? In this book, you have that raw material content. That is how you got the finished product, correct? Yeah. But do you have a machinery in this book? No, right? So machinery is a supporting agent to manufacture this book. Can I say that? Is that making sense? Machinery is a supporting agent. It is not a primary agent. Are we clear on this? So shall I remove machinery then, guys? Okay. Are you guys able to see electricity in this book? No? No, right? Yeah. Can I say this also is a supporting agent? But can we see the labor of that particular person who has put the efforts in manufacturing this book? Think and answer.
Yes.
Yes? So this does exist. Are we able to see a capital in this book? No. That capital is a part of a raw material, labor, all these things. Can I say that? Fine? Yeah. Do we need a land or are we able to see the land in this book? No. So shall I remove this also then? Fine. Building, I am removing it. So to manufacture this book, I hardly need very few things. Can I say? Fine. How? Let's discuss. I need a direct material. To manufacture a particular book, I know how much material is required. Can I say that? Let's say this book is weighing around 500 grams, correct? So for that, I may need around 600 grams of raw materials. Can I say that, guys? For manufacturing every single book, I need an exact amount of gum. Can I say that? Let's say I'm going to be needing around 10 grams of gum. Possibly, can I say that? Correct? Makes sense until here? Fine? Yeah. Further, I need exactly 3 staples to put it in a book. Exactly how many staples do I need? 3 staples. Fine. So if I'm manufacturing 10 books, 20 books or 30 books, it will be into 3. Can I say that? Correct. For every single book, I need 600 grams of raw materials only. For every single book, I need 10 grams of gum only. For every single book, I need 3 staplers only. Can I say this much, guys? Makes sense? Correct. So a laborer will sit for this job, right? He should literally sit and work for that job, correct? So he will work for 30 minutes for one book. Can I say that, guys? For one book, how much time is he spending? Exactly, precisely 30 minutes. Can I say that? Are you guys clear on this? Are you guys sure on this? How much time? 30 minutes. Done. And also, in this 30 minutes, he is putting efforts to manufacture a book. And also, he is having something called as machine hours. He should run that machine, right? See, even if you're going for a Xerox, you give a particular, copy to do a Xerox. Will that happen in a fraction of a second or it takes time? It takes time. It may take 2 seconds for one Xerox. So for 10 Xeroxes, 20 seconds. For 100 Xeroxes, 200 seconds. So there's a proper way to calculate it, correct? So in the exact same way, to manufacture this one book, we need that machinery, right? So how many number of machine hours are we using? Should we be able to calculate that also? Yes or no? We should be able to calculate that. Fine. So to manufacture one, we may need 10 minutes of a machine. Can I say that, guys? Yes or no? So can I say without the 10 minutes of a machine, we will not be able to manufacture a particular book. Can I say that much? We need that much number of time. Agree? Makes sense? Have a clarity until here? Fine. Yeah. In this whole process, the fans are running, right? Or the ACs are running, right? But is there any connection between a AC and a book here? No. So whatever there is a connection between a book and a people who are working with, right? Can we call this as something related to direct? Can I consider this, guys? Is it easy to consider or is it difficult? Easy. Electricity, we can't say, okay. Sorry, fan, we can't say. Fan is running for 10 minutes, one book is being manufactured. Can I say that? Can I say or can I not say? No, right? It's not possible. Because at the same time, I have 10 machineries, I can manufacture 10 books. Chances are there, but only one AC is running. Even though if machineries are not running, ACs will still be running. How do I justify that cost? It's difficult. Can I call those things as something called as indirect, guys? Possibilities are there. Fine. Yeah. Next thing is, all of you guys would have seen these marketing or these advertisements. Chances are there, like trailer of a particular movie. Is that an advertisement for that movie, guys? Fine. But depending on how many people have watched that particular trailer, do you think the collection of that movie is going to be dependent? Is that directly proportional? Can you quantify it? Chances are there? No, right? But it will work out for us because it's a marketing, correct? In in YouTube, you see a lot of ads, correct? But do you think they will be knowing if 10 people see this ad, one person will definitely get converted? Do you think they may know that? Possibly not. But still they are doing the promotions. Why are they doing it? What would be the possible reason? Just to bring the awareness, correct? They do marketing, they do promotion just to bring the awareness to the students, something like this is existing. To the audience, to the people, something like this does exist. Can I say that much, guys? Chances are there. Through that, the conversions will happen, we don't know. But that is one medium for the conversion. Agree on this? Marketing. So, because of the marketing, a product will be sold. We can't quantify it, but it is something which does exist. Agree? Fine. All of you guys have heard of Natraj or Apsara pencil, correct? And at the same time, all of you guys have heard of Shakalaka Boom Boom pencil. Yes or no? Heard of it or not heard of it? How many of you guys know Shaktiman here? ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ರು please. Huh? You know, right? Okay, how many of you guys don't know Shaktiman here? You don't know? You know, right? Obviously. ಅಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ I think like you're an alien. Directly you have come to, the age of 18, 19, 20. Like you haven't had a childhood. Something like that will be there. Have you guys seen this any time? Huh? Huh? Used, right? Okay, fine. At least there is some connectivity with the generation. Used? Okay, how many of you guys have never fascinated that I want to have this kind of a pencil in my life? You guys try to own it or never try to own it? No? ಇಷ್ಟ ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ವಾ? Okay. Something like this, guys, in your school, in your childhood, your friend would have brought it. I want exact same thing. For boys, it will be Pokemon, Dora, something like that. For girls, it will be primarily Barbie. Correct? Yes or no? Fine. So somewhere there will be some kind of a connection. Correct? Have you guys seen something like this? Favorite series somewhere? You guys know this guy? Huh? Saturday, Sunday. TV's name is Pogo. Correct? So they used to do something like this. Correct? But today, what is happening? YouTube. We know Tech Burner. Okay, we know Tech in Canada. So those are the people who are doing all this stuff today, right? But at that point, exactly at 9 a.m. on Sunday morning, these guys used to come. And there was one more show, right? Like all these adventure games used to be there on Sunday. Huh? Takeshi's Castle. Something like this was there, guys, at that point. Yes or no? Correct? So all that used to be a lot of promotion for that TVs, for that particular channels. Is that correct? Like we used to watch Pogo for some reasons, but some major reasons, if we should say, somewhere Chota Bheem was the reason, somewhere this Mad was the reason, and at the same time, have you guys heard of Mr. Bean? Correct in your childhood, huh? Ben 10, Pokemon, correct, and also there were 10 people, right? Pokemon only, is it? There were 10 different characters, Power Rangers, all these things were there, correct? So after watching that, shows and all, you used to go to a school, and one of your friend will be having something like that as a Shakalaka Boom Boom pencil. Now you will go to your home. I also want that exact pencil. Something like this was existing or not? Fine. Something like this was happening, correct? So all those things are a promotion or a marketing. Can I say that? Fine. And how many of you guys are using Crocs here? Crocs. Okay, first of all, you guys know what is Crocs, right? Yes. Chalo. Yeah, kind of it's a chapri. That's a different story. Yes. You guys know this Crocs? Fine. So you know how this Crocs came into existence, anybody? Today it's a fashion, right? Fine. This is one fashion. If not proper, okay, not even this. This at least looks a bit nice. This one, correct? It's too much of a fashion, right? And if you guys know who exactly wears these, someone who is having a KTM bike, Sapris, is that so? Precisely white shirt, white shoes, black pant, color hairs.
Says
Huh?
he says listen.
Correct, right? So all these things will be there. So somewhere, if you guys see these Crocs, people use this a lot, right? Correct, no? There are two set of people. One, someone who prefers to use either a slippers, sandals, or someone who prefers to use a shoes. They're very clear. Slippers, sandals, or shoes. And there are other set of people. See, I'm lazy, but I want to wear something like a shoes. What do? They go for Crocs. Correct? So, actually speaking, today it looks professional, but majority of the times it does look more like, chapris only. Correct? Anyone who wears Crocs, they will not be wearing pants. They will be wearing shorts. If you guys observe. Correct, right? So the looks, they will be wearing t-shirts. Anyone who wears a formal, they will not wear Crocs. This difference will be there. But Crocs is a trend. Can I say that? Okay. How many of you guys own Crocs? First, I should ask this question. Anyone who owns Crocs here? Huh? Please consider I'm not scolding you or I'm not offending you. Okay. Again, don't come and say, sir, you can't say this. I am a fan of Crocs. Don't say that, please. Fine. You're professionals. Try to behave like a professionals. Use Crocs for your personal reasons, but don't wear Crocs and come to college. Don't go to classes. Please don't do it. Fine? That's the idea. Yeah. So, but today it's a huge trend. Are you guys observing that? You know why it's a huge trend? Because another person is using it. Can I say that is nothing but a marketing? Agree on this? Oh. So, we couldn't find it. But if you guys remember, just in case, the first OnePlus ad was something like this. Samsung plus iPhone is OnePlus. Samsung is having a problem. It gets hanged. Is that correct? And iPhone is too good, but it's too costly. Somewhere in between these two, we wanted one phone, right? That was OnePlus. Is that correct? And that's how they marketed themselves. And they have been successful with that as well. Is that something which you guys have observed? If you want a proper premium branded phone, it will be either OnePlus or Samsung or OnePlus. Sorry, or iPhone. These are the only three which you can find. No matter how costly the, Oppo, Vivo, or Realme, Redmi, these phones may be there, but they are never called as a premium brands. Have you guys observed that? Correct. So all these things somewhere does exist, but the way they were doing the promotions, the way they were doing the marketing, right? Can I say that is absolutely different? Correct. How many of you guys have not seen KGF movie here? Not seen KGF. So all of you guys have seen the KGF movie, correct? Anyone who is a Tamilian here? Tamil guy? Nobody? If you guys know, they did this promotion, especially in Tamil Nadu. To that extent, there was a sea. In that sea, they were having this banner of KGF. Have you guys observed that? Or no? Observed it or never? No? So that was one of the ad which they came up with. I couldn't see it, man. Okay, fine, chalega. But all these ads, all these promotions, whatever they do, if you guys see KGF chapter 1, they got connected with Carrie Minati, Ashish Chanchlani. They made a proper creative video out of it. All these things will happen. All these are nothing but a promotion. It will not have a direct connections with movie. Can I say that, guys? Getting the idea? Fine. So all these costs, will they be a direct impact or will they have an indirect impact? Indirect impact. How many of you guys have watched Hostel Hudugaru Bekagidare movie? Hostel Hudugaru Bekagidare, Kannada movie. How many of you guys watched that movie because of Ramya? Because of many other promotional factors, whatever they did, because of Rakshit Shetty, because of Rishabh Shetty, because of Pawan Kumar. Correct, right? Somewhere all these pointers does exist. It's not that like the movie is good or not. It's a new people's movie. Nothing is there, to be very honest, in that movie. But still, it got promoted because of reasons like Rishabh Shetty, Rakshit Shetty, Pawan Kumar, Ramya. They created a lot of controversies around this movie. They did say worst movie in this year. That is how they promoted that movie. It's a worst movie. Even though if we say that, people will think, okay, this is a promotion. That is their idea of making a movie. Getting the point? So the whole idea is how you promote, how you market yourself. Correct? All of you guys know Drone Pratap. He plays a very interesting card, sympathy card. Badur Mane Maklo. Correct, right? But some of you guys are already inspired. Wow, Drone Pratap. That is there. So Papa guy. How about Rakshak Bullet? Correct? So, like, ಶೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಜಾಗ ಇದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲೂ ಶೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದ ಅವನು. ಇವಾಗ ಬರೀ ತಲೆಗೆ ಶೂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ. Something like that is there. Correct? So, all that is nothing but a promotion. Can I say that, guy? Right? He himself says he is, a very big star. He will stand beside the boss. But it's a comedy, right? He don't even know how to say a dialogue. That's a different story. Correct. And today, Drone Pratap is building a business out of all these factors, if you guys observe. Reason is how he does himself as a marketer. He's a great marketing person. He's not a great operations person. Do you guys agree on that? Correct? So the marketing does exist. Fine. But is that going to have a direct impact on your business? Possibly not. But is that going to have an impact? Possibly yes. Getting the idea? So the first and foremost factor which we always need to focus is this thing, is that going to impact my business? That is something which you need to understand. This thing, is that going to impact my product? Agree on this, guys? Okay. Next. How many of you guys have been to Chinese Square nearby? Chinese Square? ಅಲ್ಲ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಸಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ? What you guys are doing? Coming to class, going to home, is that the only thing which you guys are doing? Is it? So you guys will get 3 recommendations from my side in this whole class. One is movies, web series, next thing is food. Okay, surrounding to especially Baswangudi or Jainagar or even Banshankari, whatever the best food you can get, right? Something like that, you get a lot of information. If you want to maintain that index, please maintain. Okay, so try visiting Chinese Square. There you get a soup, which is just worth 20 rupees. But there will be a lot of people who visit that place on a daily basis. Okay, but is the ambience is very good? No. Like, do you have a seating place there? No. Just a very small place. But the soup is good. And it is cost effective. 20 rupees. The way it has been famous, right? They say it has like 20 rupees ka soup. That is how it has been famous. How many of you guys have heard of Belulli kebab? Heard of it? Correct? One more. Fine. So can I say it as a marketing? How many of you guys tasted that Belulli kebab here? No, right? But all of you guys know about Belulli kebab. Can I say that? That is the difference which is happening. Agree on this? Marketing. And how many of you guys have heard of mushroom biryani somewhere surrounding to this? Correct? Uncle Egg Rice Center. Correct? So all these places are famous. One, because of the promotion, branding, marketing. Another thing, the food is really good. Either of these two things. Getting the idea? Having a clarity on this. What is direct? What is indirect? We should be focusing on that. Can I say that much, guys? Are we clear on this? Yeah. So which chapter am I teaching? Any idea which chapter I'm teaching? Huh? ಏನಪ್ಪ? Introduction. So write down the heading of the chapter. Cost sheet. Cost sheet. So in this cost sheet, basically we'll be studying about 4 factors. So I gave you a lot of examples now, correct? If you guys observe, some examples are directly related to a product or a service, and some examples are not at all directly related to a product or the service, but they are required. Is that correct, guys? They're also required. So if that's the case, where will we put all these costs? We have a salary, we have a labor cost, we have electricity cost. A lot of costs will be there, right? Can we put all the costs into just the product itself? Can we do that? No, right? For example, I am manufacturing 10 books. How many books am I manufacturing? 10 books. In this particular building only I am manufacturing. One floor ka cost is somewhere around 1 lakh rupees. How many books am I manufacturing? 10 books. So just the rent I am paying how much? 1 lakh. Fine. And also electricity I will pay another 20,000 rupees. 1 lakh 20,000. And also infrastructure, machinery I am bringing it for the rent. All these things are there. 1 lakh 50,000 per month I am spending to manufacture how many books? 10 books. So per book, at what rate should I sell now? I should sell a book, right? At what price should I sell one book? Write it down. Like I said, 1 lakh 20 plus 30,000 on the rent, raw materials, everything I spent, right? So total, how much money did I spend? 1 lakh 50,000. To manufacture how many books? 10 books. So per book, at what price should I sell? If it is break even, then 15,000. Okay, if it is not, if I should consider profit also, at what price should I sell? Hmm? So let's say 15,000 is the cost. How did you come to that conclusion? 1 lakh 50,000 is what you spend to manufacture how many books? 10 books. So for one book, how much is going to cost? 15,000 rupees. I need 5,000 rupees profit. So total it is how much? 20,000 rupees. Sir, I'm going to sell this book to you for 20,000 rupees. Will you buy it? Is there anyone who will buy it? No. If you guys are not buying it, how will I make money? Correct, right? So are we missing something here? I can't sell it for 15,000 rupees. Is that correct? Why I can't sell it for 15,000 rupees? It's not? It's not about worth.
Matching to the markets.
It's not matching to the market to some extent. Yes. Any other point? But I'm not doing any mistake, right? You're speaking about worthiness, right? But I literally spend that much money, correct? Sir, you should feel that's a different story. But think from my perspective. See, you're not a customer now. You're someone who is suggesting me, you're guiding me. Like at what price I should sell. I will say, see, this is what I'm spending. So I will sell it at 15,000 rupees. So I don't need profits. I will sell it at 15,000 rupees. Still, people are not ready to buy. Why? What am I missing? Huh?
It's not affordable.
Sir, yes. Not at all. Then what am
Affordable.
I supposed to do?
You have
Manufacture
to less.
1,000 books. If I manufacture 1,000 books, it will work out for me. So even if I manufacture, 1 second, interesting point. Perfect. Even if I'm manufacturing 1,000 books, will I only spend 1 lakh 50,000 only? Okay, how much? So for 10 books, 1 lakh 50,000. For 1,000 books, Some are fixed, right? Yeah. So we will have something called as a fixed cost, and then we will have something called as a variable cost. Can I say variable cost is kind of a direct cost to this product? Agree on this? Getting the idea? So getting the point, what mistake we are doing now? We can't sell it for 15,000 rupees. Reason being, I'll go and sell it to Banu. Okay. And Banu is like, no, I can't pay 15,000 or all. Max, I will pay 100 rupees. I'm like, Banu, what are you saying? Literally, like, I spent so much money. I will say, see, rent itself is 1 lakh. And this guy will say, who said you to pay so much? You will ask that, right? See, it's your problem, you're paying 1 lakh rent. That's not my problem. According to me, I'm only ready to pay 100 rupees. You want it or not? Then I will ask, how do I do it? Then he will say, manufacture 1,000 books. You brought that place, you're renting that place. Who is stopping you from manufacturing 1,000 books? You will ask that question. If that's the case, let's say 1 lakh is going to be a fixed thing, guys. Fine. And this 50,000 to manufacture 1,000 books, just a fictional number, not the real number. To manufacture 1,000 books, I will spend around 2 lakhs rupees in total. How much money did I spend? 2 lakhs. So this is how much in total? 3 lakhs. Divided by 1,000 is how much? Huh?
300.
3 zeros cancel, 3 zeros cancel. 300. Is this a bit efficient now? Correct? So, who is stopping me from manufacturing 2,000 books now? I can still manufacture 2,000 books also, right? If I can manufacture 1,000 books, I can also manufacture 2,000 books. But it all depends on what? How many machineries I have, how much space I have. All these things will matter. Agree on this? Okay. One more point I will say. See, somewhere understand there is a class. Okay. The class capacity is 50 students. Class capacity is how much? 50 students. Per student, the fees is 10,000 rupees. Per student, the fees is how much? 10,000 rupees. So, 50 students are joining my classes. How much it will be? Huh? 5 lakhs. Are we clear on this? 5 lakhs. Okay. Now, I can take a class properly, guys. No issues. Fine. Okay. I'll bring a faculty. He will charge 2 lakh rupees and I will give him 2 lakhs. And the rent again, it's 1 lakh rupees. And finally, I will make around 2 lakh rupees. Simple. Easy to go with this. Not a big deal at all. Okay. Now what happens? Fees, we don't know. Let's think of it. But only 5 students are joining the classes. How many students are joining the classes? 5 students. If that's the case, still the faculty will ask 2 lakhs only, right? Or will he ask for less? He will still ask for 2 lakhs. See, still I am teaching for 100 hours only. Then you should still pay me 2 lakhs rupees only. And the owner of the building, oh, you got 5 students only, so pay less rent. Will they say it? Pay very less rent. It's chalega. Next time when you get more students, you pay more rent. Will they say that? No. Still I should pay how much? 1 lakh only, correct? So how much am I paying from my pocket? 3 lakhs. So now I will think how much money should I charge from my students? That question will come. Because of this, if I say I will charge more, I will not charge 10,000, I will charge 1 lakh. What will happen to the students? They're like, are you out of your mind? What is wrong with you? How can you charge 1 lakh? Not possible, correct? That question will definitely come. So in that case, still, I am supposed to charge how much, guys? 10,000 into 50 only. Or 10,000 into 5 is what I am supposed to charge. Do you guys agree on this? Make sense? So the class capacity is how much? 50 students. But now what happens? 60 students are coming to the class. I can't accommodate them in this particular class. Is that correct? I need to take another classroom for the rent. Agree on this? So for extra 10 students, I should take another classroom for rent. Do you guys agree? Correct? This classroom's rent was how much? 1 lakh. If I'm taking another classroom, rent will be how much still again? 1 lakh only. Correct? But I will say I'm only having extra 10 students. That's not my problem. You asked for one more classroom. I gave you one more classroom. What is the strength of that particular classroom again? 50 only. You put 10 students in that class or 50 students in that class. That's not my problem. I gave you the whole space. You use it the way you want it. Can I say that much? Making sense? Easy to understand? Getting the idea? Yes or no? Understood? Making sense? Is it easy? Fine. So what is happening? The fixed cost is automatically doubling But the number of students are not doubling here. Is that correct, guys? Getting the idea, getting the clarity upon all this? Fine. Whereas for all the student, we should give the books, right? So for every single student, we give a book. What will be the cost of that book? Let's say 500 rupees. Correct. So for every additional student, we spend an additional 500 rupees. Can I say that? So is this a fixed cost or it's a variable cost now? Variable cost. Are you guys getting the points now? Making sense? Fine. So in this way, what we start doing, we start classifying the cost. Can I say that, guys? What do we call this as? Classification of costs. Agree on this? Make sense? Yes or no? Yeah. So further, we have what? Let's try to classify the cost one by one. Can we do that? Everyone? Am I going too speed or too slow, or is it fine? Is it perfectly fine, or how come? Fine? ಅಥವಾ ನಿದ್ದೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಸರ್? ತುಂಬಾ ಸ್ಲೋ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಸರ್? Is that the case? No? Okay. So here what happens? Let's say we have a difference that is called as direct material cost. So to manufacture a book, do we need a direct material, guys? What is that direct material? It's nothing but a raw material. Correct? Whatever is associated with that particular product, right? Can we call it as a direct material? Fine. So for example, if you are considering a calculator, what would be the direct material in that calculator? You have a calculator here. What are the direct materials which are required in this calculator? Plastic, basically this mold is required, and also motherboard is required, and also display is required, and also this sun cutting something is called solar is required, and all these buttons are required. So we can see this, right? In every product, the same amount of direct material will be required. Fine. So for one smartphone, will we have two displays or one displays only? One display. For 10 smartphones, how many displays will be there? Huh? For 10 smartphones, how many displays will be there? For each one. Total 10. For 10 smartphones, sorry, for 100 smartphones, how many displays will be there? 100 only. For one phone, how many cameras are there? 2 cameras are there? Correct. For 10 phones, how many cameras will be required? 20. For 100, 200. For 1000, 2000. Will there be something for one phone extra, extra camera they will put? For another phone, they will not put extra camera. Something like that will happen? No, right? If it is a batch, for every phone, there will be 2 cameras only. There will be 1 display only. Is that correct? Getting the idea? For every calculator, there will be 1 display only. Are we having clarity on this? So all these things is called as what? Direct material cost. Can I say that, guys? Make sense? Yes. So to manufacture every single calculator, we need to incur a specific number of hours, right? A specific number of minutes, right? So can I say, we can say it as a direct employee cost or a labor cost, can we call it as? Yes, fine. So watchman is working, right? So watchman's cost also will be incurred here. Is that so? Watchman is a labor, watchman is an employee. Will we incur watchman's cost here? No. Will we incur a salesman's cost here? Will we incur a admin's cost here? Will we incur a labor who is working on this particular calculator's cost here? Will we incur? Are we clear on this? So anything directly associated with a product is called as what? A direct employee or a direct labor cost. Can I say that, guys? Fine? Yeah. Yes. But majority of the times it will be used parallel. He is a different guy. Okay. But sometimes it's difficult to define it. Okay. I'll tell you. See, sales guy, correct? So he's selling a particular service. So he's also a labor only, right? It's a service. Yeah. Huh? The topper. Who? CEO will not sell, right? Possibly. CEO will not sell it to the B2C customers, right? Possibly, I'm telling. He puts, yeah. So this is where the difference will come. Okay. See, normally like the definition of a labor and an employee will be varied in this way. Labor is someone who is directly associated with a product. His job is just to focus on the product. But employee, his job is not directly to only focus on the product. Getting the idea? Fine. Chalo, I'll tell you. I'm taking a class, right? Am I an employee or am I a labor? Am I an employee or am I a labor? I'm an employee. But am I directly associated with the course now? Correct? Am I directly teaching a costing course? Correct? I'm teaching, right? Yes or no? So in that case, am I an employee or am I a labor?
Use that term employee not to not hurt their people.
That is point, yes. Even that is there. Fine. But
Employees are labor.
labors are different, employees are different. Laborers are someone who work in the manufacturing unit. Employees are someone who doesn't work in the manufacturing, which means someone who works in the proper offices, something like that. See, laborers are a bit lower level, employees are a bit a higher level. That's the basic thing. Correct. But now if you consider like my scenario, am I a labor or am I an employee? Or am I an employer? What is it? Huh? Labor, employer, employee. Huh? No. Labor also, I am the one. Employee, employer, all three. Correct, right? So how can you define it then? That question will be there. So I'm teaching in the class. At that point, I'm a labor. Okay, I'm working on a particular job. At that point, I'm an employee. I'm hiring a particular person, or I'm planning a expansion of the business. That time I'm an employer. Correct, right? So you can say every employer is always an employee, he is always a labor. That much guarantee you can always say. Fine. But labor can't be a employee or a employer. Like labor, employee, employer doesn't work. Employer, employee, labor works. Getting the difference now? Getting the idea, getting the clarity? Fine. So someone directly associated with the product, we can call it as what? A labor. Fine on this. But as you said, even that is correct. To not hurt the emotions of a particular individual, we can call it as an employee. For example, all of you guys will complete CA or CMA. You will be working in an articleship. They can't even call it as a slavery. They want a better word, right? They call it as what? Articleship. Correct. You earn in pennies. You earn less than 10,000. But you know at what time you go to office? 9 or 10. You know at what time you come to home? You should not ask. Fine. You should literally not ask. That is the reality. Sometimes it will be 10, sometimes it will be 12 a.m. Getting the point? 10 p.m. or 12 a.m. The season will be coming very soon. June, July, August. Literally employees, or sorry, bad word. Literally slaves will work until 10, 12, or even 1 sometimes. Because there's a due date, because there's a lot of work. Correct, right? We can't call them as a laborers. Okay, get your laborship done. No, get your articleship done. They just to make it look beautiful. Can I say that? Agree on this? Fine. Yeah. So definitely can say any person who is directly associated with a particular product or a service, he is someone we call as what? A labor. Are we clear on this? Make sense now? Fine. Yeah. And next thing is direct expense. Whatever the direct expense we do, right? Like for every for every book, we can say there will be a 3 staples which you are going to put, correct? So that's a direct expense which you are doing on what? On that particular thing. Can I say that? Fine. And now, how do we consider this stapler? Is that an asset or is that an expense for the company? Interesting question. Accounts ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ na? 3 pins. It's a direct expense. I'll explain. Give it some time. Okay. First question. This stapler part is there, right? Will you consider stapler as an expense or it's an asset? Wait, correct. Asset or an expense? Expense, correct? Expense we can consider. But why? But it's an asset, right, sir? Sir, hardly 200 rupees ka stapler. Okay, if we consider like that, there are many things which you need to consider as what? As an asset. Correct, right? So we prefer not to consider it as an asset. Agree on this? Have a clarity on this? Make sense? Fine. So direct expense, sir, so if something like this, like stapler, that staple guy will be different person, right? That labor will come. So for that stapling, all these pointers are required. That is something which you can call as a direct expense. One, and someone wrote, this, what is it called, man? Like to cut the book, there is something which is required, right? There will be some machinery, they will do like this, the book will be cut, correct? So can we call it as a direct expense again then? Correct, right? So it works in 2 ways. To manufacture this book, to give this book a proper look, we need what? We need to spend that money. We will not do the cutting of the book. We may outsource it. For that, we spend that money. Can we call that as a direct expense now? Chances are there. So it is directly connected with what? With the book. But are we owning the machines? No. Are we the one who are cutting the books? No. We are outsourcing it. So can we call it as a direct expense, guys? And also we need to do a lamination for these books, right? So that lamination part is called as what? Direct expense again. Getting the idea? Getting the clarity on this? Clear? Now your question, please.
For every book, I think,
Yeah.
we consider material. It's a part of it.
It's a part of a book, correct? Yeah. So can that also be a direct expense or it can't be a direct expense? It can be. Correct, right? So we can define it. Is that a major product or it's a very small product in that whole book? Correct, right? Now what happens, I'll tell you. Let's take this book itself as an example. For this book, we are putting a gum, correct? While putting a gum, for this book, we may put little bit extra gum. For another book, a little bit less gum. Chances are there. But size of the book will be still the same, correct? Agree on this. So, can we quantify it in such a detailed manner? Is that a possibility? No. But the number of pages, can we quantify it? Agree on this. So, can we call that as a direct material and this gum, all these things as a direct expenses here? Chances are there. Getting the idea? It's not, significantly, it's not going to make a lot of difference. But it is something which does exist. With the book, we get staples. With the book, we get a gum, correct? Agree on this? Getting the idea? Yes, sir, but like we can't be so definite on that, right? If at all I ask you to staple a book, like I'll give you 100 books and ask you to staple. Will you precisely only use 100 staples? No, right? Some changes may happen. Like definitely you should use 100, but you may also use 105. That's a direct expense for you. Correct. But why are you saying this? We can't define it because it's not so significant. If at all you're using 100 staples, if you use 105 staples, will someone come and scold you, why did you use extra 5 staples? No, right? But you're manufacturing a book which is 100 pages. But randomly, if you put 102 pages for every book, will someone come and scold you? 100 pages we need to have in a book. But you have 102 pages in a book. In every book. Or 50 books. Will someone come and scold you? Because it is significant. It becomes significant there. Can I say that? Fine. So this is always going to be a tricky part, direct material and direct expense. But for that, easy way out is which is significant and which is not so significant. It is important, but not so significant. Getting the difference? Getting the clarity on this? Yeah. Next, moving forward. There will be something called as production overheads. This is something which is not directly associated with the product, but still this is something which is required. We need to run a machinery, is that correct? But to run that machinery, do we need to have electricity? Yes, that electricity is going to be a production overhead. That electricity we are only using for what purpose? Only for this particular job. Agree on this? Once we are done with that job, what will we do? We will cut it off. Okay. For that, I'll give you an example. In a theater, what would be the production overhead, guys? In a theater, what would be the overhead? Projector, exactly. Projector cost, can we call it as a production overhead? For 3 hours, we run that show, correct? So at that point, that projector is required. For that, electricity is required. Only then the whole show will run. Correct. We can't say it as a direct material, direct labor, or direct expense. It doesn't exist. But can we call it as a production overhead directly there? Fine. So to run this, we need it. Something like that. Okay. So in the exact same way, to run a machinery, we need a labor who need to build a batch. So that is called as what? Production overhead. Agree on this? Make sense? Okay. With respect to printing cost, if we consider, how many of you guys have heard of offset printing? Offset printing or a digital print? Have you guys heard of it or never heard of it? Heard of it or never heard? Okay. See, basically in the market, whenever we think about a printing, there are 2 types of printing. One is digital printing. Like you have a proper printer, you go for a printing and the print will be done immediately. It doesn't take time. Okay. That is called as what? Digital printing. That you can get 100, 500 or even 1000. It doesn't make any difference. Then comes offset printing. In offset printing, what happens? They can't do it for 100, 200. It will be a loss for them. Reason being, there will be something called as an aluminum sheet. For that sheet, they need to do the painting, coloring, everything they should plan. And when they do all that, for one aluminum sheet itself, it costs around 2 to 3,000 rupees. At that point, they can't manufacture 100 or 200 prints. They should minimum manufacture 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. They can manufacture n number of units, but they can't manufacture a very small number of units. Correct? So to build this aluminum sheet is there, right? There will be a cost which will be incurred. That cost can be called as what? The overhead. That is called as what? A production overhead. Clear on this? Getting the idea? Making sense? Are we clear on this? Fine. Have any questions until here? Good to go? Understood until here? How many of you guys didn't understand? Understood? Pakka? Yes. Next, moving forward, we also have something called as what? Administration overhead. So to administer also, we need to incur some cost, right? It is not related to a product, but we need to run the show, right? Correct. See, if you go to a movie theater, there will be a guy who will be standing outside who collects the tickets from you. There will be a guy who will be giving the tickets from you. All those things, can we call it as administration? Correct, right? Just like that, randomly, can you visit a theater? Can you visit a mall and watch a movie and come back? Not possible. There will be a lot of people who are involved in this whole show, right? To run a show, you need around 4 to 5 people, correct? One to run the projector, one to look after the whole theater inside, one to take care of the tickets, one to collect the ticket. All these things are required, correct? So can we call it as a administrative overheads? We need to spend that money. No matter you get 10 people for a theater or you get 500 people for a theater. Still, are you supposed to spend that money on that person? Majority of the times, this will be a fixed overhead. Administrative overhead, majority of the times, it will be a fixed overhead. Can I say that much, guys? Clear on this? Make sense? Have a clarity? Have any questions to anybody? No? All good? Sir, does that mean this will never be a variable overhead? No. This can also be a variable overhead. Can I say that? Can you guys give an example in the theaters itself? This can also be a variable overhead. How?
There are more people, sir. If there
How?
are more guys to take care of it while entering.
While entering one, possibly, yeah.
After once you get placed there, you have to arrange.
But still, it's a fixed overhead, right? We are still paying the fixed money for them.
No, sir, I will be employing 2 people.
You are employing 2 people. For 2 people, you are paying 20,000 rupees.
Yes, sir, but it depends on the.
On the crowd, see.
See, there are more people.
Hmm?
There
If there are no people also, still you will pay for 2 employees.
Not all, not all,
Not all the.
not all the 4. They only
See, I'll tell you, like you are hiring 2 people. Okay? 10 people have come to theater. Will you pay 20,000 rupees salary for them? 10 people have come to theater. You will still pay. 500 people have come to theater. Still you will pay 20,000 rupees only. So then in that case, it's a fixed overhead. Can I say that? I'll give you understanding. Give it some time. Okay? Is that a fixed overhead now? Make sense? Okay. Now, in that theater, there will be this food guy, food and beverages. Correct. That guy is also being employed. But there what we will say, see, you have a fixed salary of 20,000 rupees. But if you but if you make a sales of 20,000 rupees extra, you will get 10% of it. That is 2,000 rupees. If he makes 10,000 rupees, 1,000 rupees. If he makes 30,000 rupees, 3,000 rupees. Is that a variable overhead we have here? What is his salary? 20,000. What is the variable earnings he is getting? Huh? I am clarifying it very clearly. See, it's a variable and it's a fixed. If you merge these two, it's a semi-variable. But to give you clarity, I am keeping it very clear, correct? See, semi-variable, obviously. At variable plus fixed, it's a semi-variable. No difference on that. But at least what is variable, what is fixed, we have a clarity now. For that employee, no matter how many people will come for a theater, still you will pay how much? 20,000. But depending on the food and beverages, how much sales will happen? Will you get an additional incentive now? That additional incentive is called as what? Variable overhead, right? So that is how we will have an administrative overhead, which can be both a fixed, which can also be a variable overhead. Can I say that much, guys? Making sense? Have a clarity? Understood now? I think your question is being answered now. Possibly you have a question. You have a clarity now. So all of you guys have a clarity, like how a variable overhead works. So what people think is, sir, we are hiring 2 people. We will hire 1 more person. That is a variable overhead. No, that's a fixed overhead. Whenever you commit a fixed amount, right? That is a fixed overhead. Be very clear on this. Whenever you don't commit it depends on another particular number. That is when it's called as what? A variable overhead. If you bring in 100 people, this much you will get. 200 people, this much you will get. That's a variable. Fine. No matter what happens, this much anyways you will get. That's a fixed overhead. Are we clear on this? Fine on this, guys? Makes sense. Are we clear? Hello. Correct, huh?
There are 4 people. Have to employ some other guy now to make them fit forward, like after their faculties and all.
Correct.
For that time, I will be incur more.
Done. I'll come to that point. I'll come to that point. Let's say you are the one who is being employed, assuming you're not being offended. Chalega? Can we consider you are the one who is being employed? Okay? Let's just take an example. Now, once you're being hired, for every single person, are you being paid? Or will you get a fixed? Chalo, let's take it something like this. We are running a theater. Okay, I am the manager in the theater. You are another guy who is a backup for us. Okay, there are other 2 employees. Same. ಇವರಿಬ್ರು ನಡೆಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವಾಗ ಮಜಾ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? You will also come here. You will say, sir, if you need a requirement, if you have any requirement, I will also come and do the job. I'll be like, okay, fine, boss, done. Okay. Normally, these 2 people are running the show, but that is Friday, that is Saturday, and that is Sunday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday means more number of people are coming to the theaters. New movie is being released. Fine. So at that point, what I will say, see, you come only on Fridays and Saturday and Sunday. And for every single day, I'll pay you 1,000 rupees. Will you be okay with it? Why? Every single day, 1,000 rupees, bro. See, no studio, la, it's coming. Huh? Better, right? So will you be okay with it or will you not be okay with it? He will be okay with it. But did I promise him the numbers? 400 members only will come. 500 members only will come. Did I promise him anything? No, right? I presumed that there will be more number of people. So I need another labor. I hired you for that particular day. Am I paying you on a variable basis or on a fixed basis? Fixed basis. So is that a fixed overhead or a variable overhead? Fixed overhead. Now, what happens? He's a crazy fan of Ish. Ish movie is being released. This guy will say, see, you want more number of people to come and watch a movie. I can bring that. I have a proper community. I have a trust. We have all these groups and all. So for this theater, I will bring in 200 people. But just that, you should pay me 25 rupees for every single guy who comes to the theater. Variable or fixed? Clear on this? Getting the idea of what is variable, what is fixed? Understood or you still have a question? Fine? Have a clarity? Done. Done, guys. Have any question until here? No. This guy, whatever he did now, right? Can we call this as a selling overhead now? See, just for the sales, I'm paying him extra 25 rupees. Can I say that? Can we call this as a selling overhead now? Make sense? Fine? Clear? Okay. Making a movie is a very easy job or a very difficult job. Kada? Ape? ತಾವೊಬ್ರೇ ಇರೋದು ಏನು ಬರಿತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಮೂವಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತನಾ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಓವರ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೆಲ್ ಯು ಲೈಕ್ ಏನೂ ಬರೆಯೋಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಬರೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಓಕೆ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಅ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಫೈನ್ ಆನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಓಕೆ ಸರ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಮೂವಿ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಈಸಿ ಜಾಬ್ ಆರ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಮೂವಿ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಮೂವಿ ಶೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಆಗಿ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ತರಬೇಕು ಎಡಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಮೂವಿ ರೆಡಿ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಈಸಿ ಜಾಬ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಸರಿ ಆಯ್ತು I have a next question. Making a movie is an easy job or distributing a movie is an easy job? First thing, how many of you guys have a question? Sir, how these 2 things are different? Do you guys have a question or you guys have a clarity? If not, I will explain. Don't worry. Huh? I should explain? Fine. So, first let's take some answer. Distributing is a difficult job or making a movie is a difficult job? Huh?
I think
Think, sir. Okay. You want Bovita? Bovita? No? Okay. Making is a difficult job. Making is a difficult job. Distribution is a less people.
Same sex, not people. But when it comes to making a film,
Okay. Another level difficulty. No, no, no. Which is more difficult? Comparison. Interesting answer, sir. Very good. Sir, making is X level. Distribution is 2X level. Very good. Yeah. Which is more difficult? Making or distributing? Okay. How many of you guys are interested in understanding how the whole movie works? Any idea? Like what happens pre-production, production, post-production? What is the scenario of a particular movie? You guys have any idea or no idea? Are you guys interested to learn on that? So let's understand the game here itself. How many of you guys watched Blink movie? Blink, Blink. Not even a single person. Correct, right? Not even a single person, correct? Yeah. How many of you guys watched Salar movie? You know what the life, you know? Sorry, sir. I ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾತಾಡಕ್ಕೂ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. But still, if you guys observe, you try watching it. With the same intention I went, definitely yes. But whatever Ugram has been made, right? It is a cult classic. Okay, they can never replicate it. But whatever Salar is there, right? The way they have made, the kind of characters they have built, it is next level. Means it is something at a Hollywood level, you can say. Like there are n number of characters. The kind of story he is trying to say is at a larger scale. In Ugram, it's a cult classic, clear cut. This is the story, this is what we will do. But in Salar, what they have done, how I would have done that movie if I had a budget. That is what they had shown. Correct, right? Because in Ugram, you will not see, 3 different angles. But here you have multiple angles for the movie. So all these things are there. Yeah, like still pin to pin, still the base for the whole Salar is definitely Ugram. Correct. But the characterization is definitely huge. The way they have characterized is different. Okay. So still, if you consider KGF movie for that matter, how many of you guys have watched KGF movie in theater? How many of you guys have watched Love Mocktail movie in theater? In theater. That is interesting. Correct, right? How many of you guys have watched Diya movie in theater? Diya theater ನೋಡ್ದ? Bro, respect bro ನಿಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ.
I used to go every Friday.
Same, sir. Lockdown, it's fine. But still, we couldn't watch it, right? And in that way, if you guys observe, there are many movies which are really good. Once we see it in our homes, over our OTTs or over a TV, we love those movies. But in theaters, we prefer not to watch those movies. Is that correct? Somewhere that does happen. If you guys remember, Ugra movie also the same story. In theaters, people didn't watch it. It was a disaster. It was a failure. But once it comes to YouTube, once it comes to on TV, people are crazy about it. People are like, wow, this is a cult classic movie. That is the same thing with respect to Odidavaru Kandanti, if you guys know. Correct, right? So, whatever the movies which are going to fail, right? It is not because the movie is good or the movie is bad. It is because of the distribution. Okay? What happens, I'll tell you. Like first, everything starts with the script or with the actor. Like there is an actor who says, can you please make a movie for me? Then the script work will start. Or there is already a script. For that, they will search the actors and then the proper scripting, everything will be done. The movie will be started. And with this, the productions will be done. Okay. In this production, yes, there will be a lot of cost which will be incurred, but everything will be under your control. You are the one who is the decision maker. You are the director. You are the producer. Means like the friends, the people, they will have a trust between one another, right? So they will go ahead and produce this movie. Everything will be sorted. Everything is absolutely perfect. Things will go in the perfect way. Then comes post-production. Then also, very limited number of people will be involved. To post-produce a movie, what is required? You need an editor, you need a music director, you need designer, you need to focus on the screenplay. All these things are required. And here also there are very few set of people who will sit, discuss, and who will get the job done. Fine on this? So, in this whole process, you would have spent 50 lakh rupees. Let's assume 50 lakhs is a very small number, but let's consider. If you have spent 50 lakhs rupees on this, right, you should spend a minimum of 50 lakhs rupees on the promotion. If not, your movie will not go. If you have spent 10 CR on a movie, right, you should spend a minimum of 10 CR on promotion. only then the movie is going to be successful. Now try to understand when big movies will be released, right? People like Rajmouli, people like Prashant Neel, or people like, GVM, all these people, they give a lot of interviews, even for the small channels as well, small YouTube channels as well. The reason for that is this. Okay, like in any possible way, even if one person is watching an interview, let that happen. That is the idea. Agree on this? Fine. Now, in between these two things, to make this movie, they would have spent some money. Let's consider the easy way out around 2.5 CR. With this, a basic movie is something which should be possible. Okay. Now the movie is good, but selling is a very interesting part here. See, making a movie is not a big deal at all. Even though if it is a KGF, if Hombale Films is not a producer of that movie, that would have been a flaw. Agree on this? Makes sense? KGF is a great movie. KGF is a good movie, no doubt on that. But because Hombale Films was the producer, KGF became a successful movie. Can I say that? Correct. And all of you guys have heard of Sarkari Hiriya Prathamika Shale. All of you guys have heard of Ricky. You would have heard of Simple I One Love Story. Okay. And also this Bell Bottom. Bell Bottom is the movie, right? Of Rishabh Shetty. Correct. So all these movies, or even for that matter, Kirik Party, we can't take. That's a different story. If you consider all these movies, they are good movies, correct? Like all of us have enjoyed that movies. But are they commercially hit movies? Is that a hit movie commercially? They are not commercially hit movies. They have done a good job. They are the content-oriented movies. The reason being, there was nobody to do the distribution for that movie, if you guys observe. Agree on this? But then came Paramva Studios. Then they start something called as Kirik Party. When they start a Kirik Party, they have a proper distribution. They have a proper production. Everything they take care. And they have an additional producer to put the money in that movie. That is when what happens? The distribution channel will be open for. Agree on this, guys? Makes sense? Are we clear on this until here? Fine? Yeah. So, these distributors will say, see, let's work it out in this way. Can you guys can you guys say any random movie which is not a great hit but still a good movie kind of a thing? Any movie? Iಷ್ಟು movies ನೋಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳು ಒಂದು ಮೂವಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ವಾ ಸಪ್ತಸಾಗರದ ಆಚೆ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಅಗೇನ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್-ಹೌಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಡಸಂಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಎನಿ ಅದರ್ ಮೂವೀಸ್ ಒಂದು ಮೂವಿ ಹೆಸರು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ವಾ Have you guys heard of Baitul Love in any case? That guy Danveer, I don't know, he claims to be a hero, I don't know, I'm sorry. Baitul Love, something like that, is there? Heard of it? The classic example is a Kabza. Correct, right? Kabza movie nodidira ellaru? Huh? We'll speak about it. Correct. Point antru ide. Kabza movie kelidira hesaru? Nodidira? 100 crore movie, guys. What are you speaking? ತಾವು ಕೇಳಿರ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಮೈಗೆಲ್ಲ ಪರ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರ ಅಥವಾ ತಲೆ ಕೆರ್ಕೊಂಡು happened? Okay. So what happens, I'll tell you, see, like if you guys observe some movies, on Friday it is being released. On social media and on in theaters, everywhere, they do some kind of a drama. Okay. They're like best movie. Inta movie ಬರ್ಬೇಕು ಕಬ್ಜಾಗಂತೂ ಇದಾಗಿದ್ದೇ ಇದೆ. Okay. Pakka 100 days. Only for 4 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And from Tuesday, the same 12 pages will say Dabba movie. Inta movie ಯಾಕಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. You know why they do it? Any idea on that? PR. Ashte. There's nothing called as negative or positive. PR. Done. So, like, PR is something which matters. What happens for all these 12 pages, there will be a money which will be sent. Saying that, see, you should speak good about these movies. This is the kind of the memes you are supposed to do. They are very clear on that. They will do all that promotions. Considering they do all these kind of promotions, when you see 10 people on Instagram saying that, you know what, this movie is really good. Kabza movie is really good. The point they say it, right? Everyone like, ಹೌದಾ ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಅಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆಯಾ ಹಂಗಿದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು ನೋಡೇ ಬೇಡ ಏನಿದೆ ಮೂವಿ ಮೂವಿ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗದೆ ಇರೋ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬಂದು ಯಾರು ಮಾತಾಡಲ್ಲ ಪೀಪಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸೇ ಡಬ್ಬಾ ಆ ತರ ಇದೆ ಮೂವಿ ನೋ that is what that will be taken care of. Fine on this. So these kind of scenarios does exist. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಬಡವ ರಾಸ್ಕಲ್ ಮೂವಿ ನೋಡಿರ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಡಾಲಿ ಧನಂಜಯ, in-house production, correct? Who is the producer for that movie? Dhananjaya. What is the production house name? Dolly Pictures, Dolly Film, something like that, correct? You know who is the distributor of that movie? Distributor of that particular movie? Exactly. Okay. So there is a producer and then there is a distributor. Okay. Producer's job is to put money and make a movie. ಅವ್ನು ದುಡ್ಡಲ್ಲಿಂದ ತರ್ತಾನೆ, ಹೇಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಮೂವಿ ಮುಗಿಯುತ್ತೆ. By the time the movie gets over, right, the output is ready, right? The producers will be gone. Like, no, I don't know. I think I'll be able to promote this movie. I don't have so much of money. That is when producer will go to a distributor. And these distributors are someone who is having a good amount of money. And also they are someone who is having a good amount of connection all over Karnataka, all over a particular state. Like, how is that going to be decided? One movie should be released in Viraj state only. It should be released in Chandrodaya only. Morning 2 shows, evening 2 shows. That should be balanced, right? Who will take care of that? Distributor. See, producer's job is not to do this, right? If at all, in all of Karnataka, we have somewhere around 300 to 350 plus screens. We can't call 350 plus screens, correct? How do we manage that? That job will be done by a distributor. Fine. Now distributor will have a different kind of a dealing. Okay. 2.5 CR ka movie. I'll give you 2.5 CR. You give this movie to me. I will do the promotion. I will do everything. And I will sell the movie in the theaters also. What happens, how it happens, it's my problem. Doesn't matter. Otherwise, they will say, let's go on a sharing basis. Fine. Whatever the money we get, you take 60%. I am going to get 40%. This is what we are going. Another idea. Either of the two things will not work out. Producer is having a good amount of money. Producer will decide one thing. See, I will give you 5 CR. You should distribute a movie to me. That's it. Your job is just to distribute. How much money I will make? It's my personal thing. Like, whatever the sharing, everything will happen between the theater and between me, right? Everything should come to me being a producer. Nothing will come to you as a distributor. Why? You are taking 5 crores. Fine on this. Getting the idea? Now, producer is kind of safe when it comes to 2.5 crores ka deal. He should just sell a movie. His job is done. Agree on this, guys? Makes sense? What is his job? He should just sell a movie. To whom? To a distributor. And another thing is there, this distributor will get a fixed pay of 5 CR. No matter what happens with the movie. There will be a terms and conditions. But if movie is good, it runs. If movie is not good, it will not run. That's not a problem. How much money does the distributor is getting? 5 CR. He may make 10 CR out of that movie later. We don't know. But he may make 1 CR. But is the distributor safe here? He's paying how much? 5 CR. Whenever a big movie is from Malayalam, from Kannada is coming, right? Or from Andhra, this is how they go ahead. For a distributor, they pay a fixed money. Clear on this? Like many of the Telugu movies are being distributed in Karnataka, in Kannada by KVN Productions. Can I say this, guys? Yes or no? The Telugu movies are being produced in Karnataka by KVN Productions. Can I say that? For example, Animal. Agree? All these things will be there. Getting the idea of how this works? Now what happens? This distributor, he should plan how to distribute. Should I distribute it on Thursday or should I distribute it on Friday? This is where the whole problem will come. According to that, they will plan the campaigns. Fine on this. And in Karnataka, in Kannada, if there is one particular production house which has been successful with this distribution is, any idea which one is that? KRG Studios. Their success rate, their success ratio is comparatively pretty much high. What they do is they go for a small movies. Okay. They will say, let's have a proper, bonding, like, 50% share, 60-40, 70-30. This kind of a share we will go. We will also promote the movie. We will distribute the movie and we will make this movie a success. Fine on this, guys? That is how it is going to work out. For the first time when Badawa Rascal got released, that's a good movie. But this Dolly Dhananjay is a first time producer. He don't know to do the distribution. That is when they went ahead with what? KRG Studios. They got a success. And that is when KRG Studios went with a lot of movies just for the purpose of distribution. They got a trust with Dolly Dhananjay. That is when they went ahead and made a movie called as Hoysala. Is that correct? Hoysala is being produced by whom? Not by, just by KRG Studios. Makes sense? Further, this is not the end. They go ahead with one more level. They're like, chalo, we will only produce one more movie. That is Uttarakhand. Correct? And they also produce one more movie called as Ratnan Prapancha, but just for OTT release. Before even the movie gets started, that movie was being sold to whom? To Amazon Prime. They are safe. Getting the idea? Fine. And in this month, only end of this month, The Goat Life is a movie which is going to be released. Okay? This movie is going to be released. This movie should be distributed, right? In 5 languages. Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, and Hindi. This movie is basically from what? From Malayalam industry. This movie is being done by whom? Prithviraj Sukumaran. You guys know Prithviraj Sukumaran, I believe, somewhere. Correct? ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಸಲಾರ್ ಮೂವಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ಯಾ ಪ್ರಭಾಸ್ ಮುಂದ್ಗಡೆ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ಇರ್ತಾನ he is a Prithviraj. Okay, now what happens here in this The Goat Life movie? He's a great director, great producer, everything happened, everything is fine, but in 5 different languages we only can't distribute it. Let's give it to the people who are really good at that particular place. Fine on this. That is the same thing which happened even with KGF also, if you guys know. In Karnataka, Hombale Films did it. But in Hindi belt, Hombale didn't do. Who did it? Excel Movies, Anil Dadlani, all these people did it. And in Andhra Pradesh, there was another Reddy or someone. Correct, right? Sai Garu, someone like that. He is the one who distributed there. Whereas in Tamil, there was Vishal who distributed. Whereas in Malayalam, Prithviraj Sukumaran is the one who distributed it. So getting the idea what is happening now? The distribution will be distributed according to that belt. Reason being, Karnataka's market, Karnataka's crowd we know. Tamil Nadu's crowd we can't understand. For that, we need a people who are from Tamil Nadu to do the promotion of that movie. Getting the idea? So now you tell me, distributing a movie is a easy thing or making a movie is a easy thing? Making a movie or distributing a movie? Making a movie is a easy thing. It's too easy because you're the cameraman, you're the director, you're the producer. You'll have that, easy way out with the people. You can do it. But when it comes to distribution, there are 100+ things which are supposed to work out for you. Only then it's going to be a success. If you guys know, Yuvaratna is a good movie, fine. But still, it didn't get the kind of the success it was supposed to get. Is that correct? What went wrong? COVID. Agree on this? So that was the issue with respect to Yuvaratna. All of you guys have seen Avanesh Narayana movie. Is that a good movie or a bad movie? Super movie, but still it didn't work out in theaters. Why? What went wrong? Huh? Distribution is one. And another thing is Pushpa also came in between. That was the impact they had. Avanesh Narayana, the very small mistake they did is the director somewhere missed the route on what they are doing in that movie. See, the movie is great when you watch it for the second time. But when you watch it for the first time, even you are also confused somewhere. Like, what happened? Why is it happening? But when you watch it for the second time, you understand this is the best movie. Like the kind of visualization, the kind of storytelling, it is next level. But what didn't work out for them? That time, the distribution. But the budget was too huge. But did they make a losses out of it? Definitely yes. But what about Kirik Party? It did work out for them, right? What went right with them? Production was their own house, but distribution was not 100% their own. Distribution was again distributed. Agree on this? These things are something which does work out. Agree on this, guys? Getting the idea? Okay. So why we were discussing about all these things? Selling a product is not a big deal. Distributing a product is a very big deal. If you have a distribution, right, you are going to be successful. If you don't have a distribution, you can't be successful. As simple as that. Fine on this, guys? For MI, the distribution was a huge success. If you guys know, for MI phones. You know how MI phones started their sales for the first time? Into?
They want many things in cheap.
In cheap rates. That's a production thing, right? How did they distribute it? Which sellers? Which retailers?
Mobile shops.
I'll tell you something. MI Phones is a one-person company. Do you guys believe it? MI Phones, when they started it in India, it was a one-person company. That's it. Like, The CEO himself is the labor, he is the employee, he is the distributor, he is the everything guy. That guy's name is Manu Kumar Jain, if you guys know. That bald guy. Correct, right? Now, the interesting part, what happened is, like, I literally read this story, that's how I know about it. Like, on day one, he goes to China, he decides, okay, chalo, like, fine, we'll start this, MI phones ka distribution in India, we will sell these phones, everything. But he don't have any employees in India. All that he does is, he goes to Flipkart. He is the guy who starts something called as flash sale. On Friday, sharp 12 p.m., the flash sale will come, and immediately in next 2 minutes, all the phones are being sold out. You guys have seen that? Who started it? This guy. How did he start it? He just got in a tie-up with Flipkart. Why? Flipkart was having a distribution. This guy is not having a distribution. Clear on this, guys? Why people will go to Amazon Prime? Why will they not release, on their YouTube or on their own OTT platform? Because Amazon Prime is having a distribution, which they don't have. Fine on this. And this MI phones guy, he said, chalo, we will have something called as a flash sale. At 12 p.m., we will launch this phone. And in the next 2 minutes, we will only sell 10,000 smartphones, not more than that. He decided. And luckily, all the smartphones got sold. And unfortunately, unfortunately or fortunately, for the first time, Flipkart got crashed, which means so many people got into Flipkart to order the smartphone. Getting the point? So understand, sometimes even a failure will give you a lot of success. Like literally it failed at that point, right? Because they thought hardly 500,000 people will come. But literally everyone came to order the smartphone. So Flipkart got crashed. They were not ready. They were not getting ready for that kind of a bandwidth. But still, somehow it was a success for them. Next time, they got ready for it. Agree on this? Distribution is something which matters. Getting a Nandini milk is a very easy thing, or getting hats and curd is a very easy thing. Getting Nandini milk is very easy thing. Is that correct? Why? Because there are n number of Nandini boards. Nandini milk's distribution will start at night 9 p.m. Early morning 5 a.m. in every store you will see Nandini milk. That is how they have planned their distribution. But that's not the case with respect to the hats and curd. Even that is there, but they're not able to be so successful the way these people are there. Is there going to be a difference here? Correct? Distribution. Parle-G biscuit. In every nook and corner of the cities, of the villages, you will see it. Coca-Cola, you will be able to see it. Is that correct? Sting, you are able to see it. Agree on this, guys? Distribution is something which matters. Reason being, distributors are the real sellers of your product. Agree on this? No matter how much you say about your product, when it comes to the market or you go in social media and you say we are the best, everything you say. But the way distribution works, right? That small retailer guy will go and say something very interesting. Like, it's my guarantee you take this product, it will work out for you. Will the retailer say this? If you guys observe, in retail shop, there are two products. For example, let's say you will go to buy a soap. Okay? One soap is ABC, another soap is XYZ. Normally, people know about ABC. It is something like a Lifebuoy, let's assume. And this XYZ is something more like a new soap. But this retailer will say, "Naan guarantee korta idini soap tagondu hogi." You buy the soap is really good. If this soap is not good, no, you come back and I'll give you the money back. That people will say it. 80% of the people will not come back. All of us know that. And second thing is, XYZ soap is being sold because of whom? Because of the retailer, not because of the producer. Is that correct? The power of distribution. Clear on this, guys? The first time founders will majorly focus on the sales part, but the second time founders will focus on the distribution part. Where will I be able to sell this particular product? That is what you should be having a clarity on. Clear on this? Make sense? Getting the idea? Interesting or not so interesting? Interesting? Pretty good? Fine. So now, with all this, we need to have one more thing that is called as distribution overhead. And all in all, to make all these things work out, we need one more very interesting product. What is that? We need a product. To get that product, what do we need to do? A lot of research and development is something which goes ahead. Correct? So we will have one more cost that is called as R&D costs. Can I say this much, guys? Agree on this? Easy, difficult? How come? Until here, are we clear? Pakka? Makes sense? Next, moving forward, ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಪ್ಪ ಒಂದು 2 minutes. Okay. So whatever the cost we just wrote here, right? All of them are supposed to be somewhere in the particular sheet or in somewhere in the balance sheet or in the income statement. Somewhere they are supposed to exist, correct? Fine. So we have heard of balance sheet, income statement, cash flow statements, correct? In income statement, what will be there? All the expenses and income. Are we clear on this? In balance sheet, what will be there? Yeah. Balance sheet will be there as on that date, or balance sheet will be there from X date to Y date as on that date. Means on that date, what is the scenario of the company is what we will understand, correct? But what about income statement? For the period. Are we clear on this? From X period to Y period, what happened? Something like that is going to be there. So in the exact same way, we will have something called as cost sheet. In this cost sheet, we will understand what are all the costs which we are going to incur and where we are going to allocate what costs. We need to be having a clarity on that, guys. Fine. Yeah. So in this one, we will have four. One is prime cost. Prime means what? Like whenever you hear a word prime, what do you get into your mind?
Period, and
We'll discuss about that. Not immediately. Later on you will learn. Because cost sheet will come into multiple terms. Okay, because there are different methods of costing. In all these places, you will still use cost sheet only. How you will use, we should learn it. Fine. Yeah. So here, whenever I say he is our prime customer for the product we are building. So does that mean he's an important person or he's not so important person? Important person. So Amazon Prime, which means you have added advantage. Can I say that? So there is something called as prime cost. If you don't even have a product, what will you sell? Is that the important factor? You have a distribution, you have a selling, everything is there, but you don't even have a product. Will that work out? No, right? So in that case, you need to incur money somewhere very important, right? Somewhere which is the primary factor for you, right? That money, whatever you incur, will be called as what? Prime cost. This is something which should exist, which will exist. Can I say that much, guys? Agree? Make sense? Yeah. Next thing is something which is called as what? Cost of production. In this cost of production, prime cost will be there as well as a lot of other costs will also exist here. Can I say that? Because we need to produce, right? Other fixed overheads, administrative overheads, all these 8 overheads will exist in cost of production. Can I say that? To produce, we need to incur all that money. Agree? Yeah. And further, what will we get? Cost of goods sold. So, like, what goods are we selling? We are producing it. Whatever we produce, will we sell? Whatever we produce, will we sell? No. We produce a lot, we sell a little. Can I say that? Somewhere, some or the other production, whatever is there, will be folded. Can I say that? Not everything will be sold. Can I say that, guys? Make sense? Perfect here? Agree on this? Yeah. Now, to do this sales, we need what? Selling expenses, distribution expenses, all these things will be there. So all in all, we get into what? Cost of sales. Can I say this, guys? So here, to do the selling, whatever the money we spend will be included here. Can I say that? Agree? And if we add profit to this, what do we get? Sales. Are we clear on this, guys? Make sense? Perfect here until here? Okay. So, can I draw a circle like this? Prime cost in this, cost of production in this, cost of goods sold, and on top of this, cost of sales. Can I say this, guys? Is this how it is going to work? In cost of sales, cost of goods sold does exist, production does exist, prime cost does exist. Are we clear on this? Understood? Have a clarity on this? Have any questions? Have a clarity? Fine. Do you guys need a break or shall we continue? Huh? So, we'll take a break. Hmm? 26, 35 वर्गो पढ़ो आराम break करो. Shall we take down the notes first? Sure. So ಏನು ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಪ್ಪ? Write down, write down, write down. A cost sheet, a cost sheet, cost sheet is a document, is a document, document which provides, provides a detailed, detailed cost information, which provides a detailed cost information, cost information. Done. Full stop, full stop, full stop. It is presented, it is presented, it is presented on the basis of functional classification. It is presented on the basis of functional classification. Functional classification. Full stop. Full stop. Further write down. Further write down. Functional classification. Functional classification. Classification of elements of cost. Of elements of cost. Cost. Write on the first one. Direct material cost. Direct material cost. Direct material cost. Next write down. Direct labor cost. Direct labor cost. Write down the next one. Direct expenses. Direct expenses. Done. Direct expenses. Next write down. Production overheads. Production overheads. Administrative overheads. Administrative overheads. Selling overheads. Selling overheads. Distribution overheads. Distribution DISTRIBUTION. Distribution overheads. Right on the last one. Research and development cost. Research and development cost. Are we clear? Research and development cost. Done? Everyone done? So further, write down the next one. Cost heads. Cost heads. In a cost sheet. Cost heads in a cost sheet. Full stop. Further write down. The costs as classified on the basis of functions, on the basis of functions are are grouped, group, grouped into the following following cost heads, cost, cost, cost heads, heads in a in a in a cost sheet, in a cost sheet. Can you guys please write down prime cost, cost of production, cost of goods sold, and yes. Guys, please understand one thing. See, these classes are not your assets. Yes or no? It's not like every time after 3 months, 4 months, if you want to watch the videos, you'll again go back and you'll watch the videos. Will you do it? You'll not enjoy it because definitely it's not a movie. Okay, wow, I want to see Naveen's class once again. You'll not do it, correct? But the only asset which you can own is your books, right? Like the day you pass your exam, right? To share that happiness, you will have your books with you. Like, with this book, I have passed my exams. You will have it. That emotional bonding will automatically be there when it comes to your own books. So please put some extra efforts, some extra amount of money when it comes to your books. First thing, okay? And second thing is calculate. See, this calculator may cost 100 to 150 rupees now. 150. So this calculator will cost you 150. This may come for around max 6 months to 1 year, possibly. Okay. Again, one more thing, you are in CA inter. The way a stethoscope is for a director, sorry. The way it is a stethoscope for a doctor, in the exact same way, calculator is for a CA, right? So put some extra money with respect to calculator. Okay. If you can't put money on calculator, please come to me. I will only buy one for you guys. Fine. But just that, like, have a good calculator, precisely Casio. Because Casio will at least come for 2 to 3 years, no matter what. Fine. And most importantly, like, by now, if you guys observe, you need not even see your phones, right? Just like that, you can type, just like that, you can call, you know which app is where. Is that correct? So you are accustomed with it. So in the exact same way, you are supposed to accustom with respect to your calculator. That is very important. Because in exam, you don't have a time to see and do it. You should be able to see the question, at the same time, you should be able to solve it. So that speed will only come with practice. So for that, put some extra money on these two things. Book. And the next thing is calculator. Fine on this? One-time investment. Yeah. So further write down prime cost. Prime, prime cost. Write down, write down. Prime cost, prime cost represents the total of direct material costs, direct direct material costs, comma, comma, direct labor costs, direct, direct labor costs, labor costs, and, and direct expenses, direct labor cost and direct, direct expenses. Fine. So below that, write it down in this way in a different color pen. Please change the color of your pen. Okay. Try to write it in a big way. Totally fine. Done. I'm sorry, my handwriting is too beautiful. Please adjust. Are we done? Sure. No, sir. One question, sir. Okay. You are manufacturing a particular product. Let's say something like, juice. Okay, that is your job. Now, the factor here, what happens is, you already have a opening stock of around 500 kg of raw materials. Okay. Yeah. And you have a closing stock of around 300 kg of raw materials. Okay. And also you have purchased around 2,800 kg of raw materials. Fine, sir. How much have you consumed? 2,900? Are you sure? Same question to you. Huh? Do whatever you want. Tell me the answer. 2,900 is one answer we have got. It may be correct, even I don't know because I haven't solved it yet. Any other answers? Hinge 3,000.
3,000.
See.
No, sir, yes. 2,800 plus 300 I have you.
3,200 was only. Fine. Yeah. What is the answer? Guys, it's a very basic stuff, right? It's not difficult. I am not teaching you any formulas, nothing I'm teaching. I am asking you the very basic questions. Try to answer. 3,000. Explain ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂತ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇಡ ನನಗೆ ಲೇಮನ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಸಿ ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಒಂದು 500 ಇದೆ ನೀವು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 2,800 ಬೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಸೊ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಒಂದು 3,300 ಇದೆ ಆದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಉಳಿದಿರೋದು ಒಂದು 300 ಉಳಿದಿದೆ ಸೊ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮ್ಡ್ 3,000 something like this you can explain fine see the same thing sir difference ಆಗಲ್ಲ but like when you say like this we get to know that you have understood as simple as that correct right and please don't try to use the formulas at least in the first few days fine see costing is a very basic subject where you should learn it from the real life angle correct right once you learn it it's very easy otherwise you will never learn done sir easy sir done now okay. Shall we make it a bit more interesting guys fine yeah so opening stock is around 300 kg okay and you have consumed around 2,200 kg and closing stock is around another 300 kg. What is that you have purchased? Opening stock is 300 kg, closing stock is 300 kg, consumed is 2,200 kg. Yes, ma'am, Ashita ma'am. That is consumed, ma'am. What is purchased? Tell me that. Consumed is 2,200, I know it. What is purchased? Huh? 2,200.
2,600.
Anyone 2,200? Sir? Huh? Sir, that is consumed, sir. What is purchased? Purchase what? Purchase of Then why am I solving this question then? Correct, right, ma'am? How can it be 2200? Answer is also Pakka na? Guarantee. Ma'am, 1900? Is it? Yeah. So, please answer. You already have 300 kgs with you. Okay. And you have consumed around another 2200 kgs. So, you are left with 300 kg. Fine. You had to 300 kg, you are left with 300 kg. How much did you consume? 2200 kg. How much did you purchase to consume? No, not understanding. How many of you guys are not able to understand even this? Please raise your hands. Totally fine, absolutely fine. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು. So answer is 1900, right? What is the answer? 2200. Okay. Guys, please understand. There is something called as input. Is that correct? See, this is totally fine. It's not like on day one you are supposed to know. Nothing like that. So please be very clear. Even though if it is going to take more time, we will discuss. Fine. So we have something called as input, and also we have something called as output. Do you guys agree? Fine. So from here, like input will be 100 kg, the output would be somewhere 95, 98, or even 100 kgs for that matter. Do you guys agree on that? Absolutely perfect. Now, I already have 200 kgs with me. Fine. Plus, I will purchase another 1800. Are you guys clear on this? I already have how much? 200. Plus, I am purchasing how much? 1800. Are we clear on this? Yeah. In that case, I have sold around 1900. I have sold how much? Around 1900. How much is left? 100. Are we clear on this? Okay. Yeah. I have sold around 1700 then. How much is left with me? Huh? 300. Agree on this? So, input should always be equal to output. Do you guys agree on that? LHS is always equal to RHS. Are we clear on this? Makes sense? Pakka? Is it easy to go with? Fine. Yeah. So, if that's the case, if you are thinking from the input and outputs perspective, this 2000 will always be equal to this 2000. Do you guys agree on this? Fine. Any questions to anybody until here? Okay. This 200 is what? Beginning stock. In the beginning, I already have. Agreed? And this 1800 is what? Something which I am purchasing. Are we clear on this? And 1700 is something which is sold slash consumed. And this 300 is something which is closed stock. Are we clear? Easy to go with, or it's becoming difficult? Very easy. Pakka? Okay. So in that case, now if I say, if I am purchasing 500 units and in the beginning I already have 100 units and I have consumed 300 units, which means how much is there in my closing stock? Can you guys please say? Huh? 300. Okay. Now I have purchased 700. My closing is 200 and I have consumed 500. How much is beginning? Yes. How much is the beginning stock which I have? Whatever you say will be correct. Huh? ಹೇಳಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳ್ರು ನೀನು ಮುಖ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ so beginning is how much? 0. Are we clear on this also? Next, your beginning is 700. You have purchased around another 1500 and you have consumed 2000. How much is there in closing? Your consumed is 2500. Your closing stock is 500. Your beginning is 300. How much have you purchased? 2700. Still no, I'm not getting the voice. What are you doing? What are you doing? Voice, sir. Voice a little. Power. No power. Power is there, right? Fine. So can we solve few more questions like this? Chalega? Like, this is too much of a basics. Fine, but at least, get accustomed with it. You have a beginning of 300, you are purchasing around another 1800, you are consuming 2000. What is closing? Your beginning is 700, your consumed is 3000, your closing is 200, your beginning is 0, your closing is 0. What will be purchased and what will be consumed? Purchase will be equal to consumed. Are we sure on this? Is it easy to go with? Okay, have a clarity? Have any questions, anybody? No? Okay. So considering we know so much, can we create a formula on this? Okay. Can I say opening stock plus purchases is equal to consumed plus closing stock? Can I say this much, guys? Is it very easy to understand? Pakka? Okay. So in that case, can I take this closing stock this side? Possibilities are there? So O plus P plus CL is equal to consumed. Is it correct? No. Are we missing something? What? So this is not plus, is it? Like we should put it minus closing, is it? Why is that so? Huh? ಯಾಕೆ ಸರ್ ಯಾರೋ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ರು ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಇಂದ ರೈಟಿಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಮೈನಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಫೈನ್ ಸಾರಿ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಮೈನಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಸೊ ವೈ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಹಾ ಸೊ ವೈ ಈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಅ ಮೈನಸ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ಡೂ ಮೈನಸ್ ವಿ ಕಾಂಟ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಫೈನ್ ಆನ್ ದಿಸ್ so basically LHS should always be equal to RHS. If at all one component of RHS is coming towards LHS, definitely this is supposed to get balanced with it, right? Correct, right? So in that case, definitely this gets what? Minus. Can I say that much, guys? Are we clear on this? So in a very simple word, can I say formula is opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock will give you what? Consumed. Are we clear on this? Pakka? Okay. Now, I want to find purchased. This is where people will go wrong. Okay. This is what the mistake which you did in the starting as well. Okay. Now, what happens? See, you are clear opening plus purchases minus closing stock. The same thing you can't do it for purchased as well. Is that correct? There will be a slight changes, right? So again, for that, understand this one now. So what do I need? Purchased. So this purchase is already there here, right? So shall I put this opening stock here, guys? Chalega? Okay. So shall I write consumed plus closing stock minus opening stock? Are we clear on this? Have any questions? Clear? So please write down. Sorry guys, getting confidence on this. This is too much of a basic. So I'm asking. Totally fine. If you are not able to understand, again I'll repeat. Understood, ma'am? Which one? Understood? Pakka, right? Understood? Done. So write down direct material cost. Direct material cost. Direct material cost. In that write down. It is a cost of it is the cost of direct material consumed. Direct material consumed. The cost of direct material consumed. Can you guys write the formula? But please remember, first write down this part. Opening stock plus purchases is equal to consumed plus closing stock. Always be clear on this. Practice it. In exam, it becomes easy. Okay? These silly mistakes are something which happens in costing. Fine. Opening stock plus purchase is equal to consumed plus closing stock. Further, just write down this one. Should we go this deep? Not necessarily, but if you go this deep now, the chances of you making a mistake will be pretty much less. Okay. For some of you guys, it may feel, sir, this is too basic. Correct, Allah, sir? Further write down. Example. of of direct material R, direct material, material R, direct material R, cost of material, cost of material, freight inward, freight, inward, 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 insurance and other expenditure, insurance, and other expenditure, expenditure, directly, attributable to procurement, attributable, directly, attributable, ATTR, ATTR, I, ATTRI, BU, TABLE, table, attributable to procurement, to procurement, Done? To procurement. Next, write down. Trade discounts, trade discounts, trade discounts, or rebates, REBATES, basically discounts. Okay. In the bracket, write down, to be deducted, to be deducted. Clear on this? To be deducted. Further, duties and taxes, duties and taxes, taxes. Clear on this? Duties and taxes. Have any questions to anybody until here? No, easy. Further, write down direct employee cost. Or you can also write direct labor cost, totally fine. Direct, labor cost. I think even in direct labor also, we can put something like opening labor hours, closing labor hours. Is that something which is possible?
Labor is very double, the day after labor.
Correct, right? And that's the first thing. And second thing is, okay, like we can't keep counting. Last month, 30 hours you haven't worked. Work for this month. Doesn't work like that. Only raw material can be saved, but labor hours can't be saved. It's used. Correct? Yeah. So write down direct, labor cost, cost. In that write down, it is the total of, total of payment made, to the employees who are engaged in the production of goods, goods and provision of services, in the production of goods and provision of services. Full stop. Labor cost includes the following. Labor cost includes the following. The following includes the following. Write down. Wages and salary. Salary. Further write down. Allowances and incentives. Incentives. Next. Payment for overtimes. Next. Bonus. Next. Employers contribution. Contribution to welfare funds. Such as provident fund, and other similar funds. provident fund and other similar funds. Clear on this, guys? Yeah. Last point, write down other benefits, etc. Other benefits, etc. Done. Other benefits, etc. Further, write down direct expenses. Direct expenses. Direct expenses. In that write down. Expenses. Other than direct material cost. Direct material cost. Cost and direct employee cost. And direct employee cost. Cost. Which are incurred. Which are incurred to manufacture a product. To manufacture a product or for provision of a service, or for provision of service, service and can be directly traced and can be directly traced in an economically feasible manner to a cost object, to a cost object, They have used a word, please reread it. If possible, try to underline that word. Okay. Which are incurred to manufacture a product or for provision of a service and can be directly traced in an economically feasible manner to a cost object. It is something which can directly be traced. Are we clear on this, guys? Fine. Yeah. In that write down, the examples are first one, cost of utilities, such as power and fuel, power and fuel, comma steam, power and fuel, comma steam, etc. Next one write down. Royalty paid slash payable for production or provision of service. Next one write down. Higher charges, higher HIRE, higher charges paid for hiring specific equipment. Higher charges paid for hiring specific equipment. Further write down fee for technical assistance and know-how. Fee for technical assistance and know-how. KNOWHOW and know-how. Next one write down. Amortized cost of molds. Amortized cost of molds, comma patterns, patents, patents, etc. Patents, etc. Are we clear on this? Yeah. Next, moving forward, cost for product, product slash service slash slash service specific design or drawing specific design or or drawing or drawing. Are we clear on this, guys? Done? Or drawing. Full stop. Full stop. Next write down. Next write down. Cost of product. Cost of product slash 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 service 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 for for specific software specific specific software software. Then write down all the other expenses which are directly related directly related with the production of production of goods goods or provision of provision of provision of service provision of provision of service. Fine on this. Write down the next point. Cost of production. Next heading. Cost of production. Cost of production ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? What is cost of production? Prime cost plus factory overheads. Can we say this much? So write down. Write down. It is a total of prime cost and factory related costs and overheads. Factory related costs and overheads overheads. Okay, so let's write it down here detailed way. So we know how do we get a prime cost, correct? In prime cost we have three components: direct material, direct labor, and direct expenses. Inclusive of all of these things, what do we get? Prime cost. So for this, what will I add now? I will be adding a factory overheads. What do I get? Gross works cost. This is not the final thing. This is just a part of it, correct? So what is it? Cost of production, correct? So in production, there's a raw material which comes into the picture, guys. There's a raw material, and then it gets into what? Work in progress. And then we get what? Finished goods. It takes time, right? See, this WIP is something which we need to deduct, right? It's not a part of the production still. Like it is in the process, but it is still not an output. Do you guys agree? Correct. So somewhere in the middle it is there. Fine. So for that here, what we will do now, whatever the opening stock which is there in WIP, work in progress, whatever is going on, right? That we will add, correct? And at the same time, whatever the closing stock in WIP is there, right? We will deduct. So that is when we exactly get what is actually being produced. What is the cost of production? Can I say that? Makes sense? So what do we add? We have an opening stock in WIP, which we are going to add because it's a part of the production now. Closing stock, it's already closed. So we are going to deduct. This closing stock was previously a part of the opening stock. Are we clear on this? Makes sense? Are we clear? Okay. So if we do this, what do we get then? Factory costs. Can I say this much, guys? Agree on this? Yes. Further, for this, whatever the other costs which are going to be there, all those costs we are going to add. Like what? Quality control cost, R&D, administrative overhead, packing cost or packaging cost, you can say. Okay. This much you can write. Can you guys please write this one? Cost of production in that write down. Cost of production in that write down. That write down. Prime cost plus factory overhead. Plus factory overhead. 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 You will get gross works costs plus opening stock in WIP you will do minus closing stock in WIP is what we will do. Opening stock in WIP minus closing stock in WIP. Yeah. So what do you get? Net factory cost. For that, you will add quality control cost, research and development cost, administrative overhead cost, and also packing or packaging cost. Everyone done? Done? So write down further. Factory overheads, factory overheads, factory overheads is also known as works, production, comma, manufacturing overheads, manufacturing overheads, done. Elinda. It's known as works, production, manufacturing overheads. Works, production, manufacturing overheads. Further write down. It includes the following costs. The following costs. Write down the first one. Consumable stores and space. Consumable stores and space. Consumable stores and space. Next one. Depreciation of plant and machinery. Depreciation of plant and machinery. Comma, factory building, etc. Factory building, etc. Next one write down. Lease rent of production assets. Lease rent of production assets. Basically, it's an expense, guys. Lease rent of production assets. Next write down. Repair and maintenance of plant and machinery. Repair and maintenance of plant and machinery. Next one write down. Indirect employees cost. Indirect employees cost. Related with production activities. Related with production activities. Next thing. Drawing and designing department cost. Drawing and designing department cost. Are we clear, guys? Drawing and designing department cost. Next write down. Insurance of plant and machinery. Insurance of plant and machinery. Factory building, etc. Factory building, etc. Further write down. Amortized cost of jigs, fixtures, tooling, etc. Amortized cost of jigs, fixtures, tooling, etc. etc. Next write down. Next write down. Service department cost. Service department. Service department cost. Cost such as such as such as tool room, tool room, tool room, tool room, engineering and maintenance, engineering, engineering and maintenance, and maintenance, and maintenance, pollution control, pollution control, pollution control, etc. Pollution control, etc. Are we clear? Yeah. So somewhere you guys must be confused now. Like we learned very little. We are hearing a lot of things now, but we didn't even study anything about this. Somewhere you felt it? Silva. Like we are writing so much, but we learned very little, right? Hardly we learned, okay, what is the cost of production? What is cost of sale? What is cost of goods sold? We learned all that, correct? But here we are having a lot of things, right? We have never studied about WIP until here, correct? Work in progress, all these things. So, like by the time we complete this particular chapter, cost sheet, you get to know the glimpse of everything. Like what is costing? You get some idea about it. After that, the first part of the costing, material, labor, overheads. That is first part of the costing. You will learn the basics of costing there. After that, you will come down to the methods of costing, which means what happens when it comes to multiple departments are there. How does buses do the costing? What is called as job costing? What is joint product, byproduct costing? All these things you will study. And finally, we will study something called as techniques of costing. These are three parts of the costing. Fine on this? Yeah. For all of this, the base is going to be this. Clear? Chalo. Further write down. Further write down. Like I'm just giving you the insights on the index for now. That's it. Okay? Yeah. Write down. Stock of WIP, or please write down stock of work in process. Work in process. The cost of opening and closing, the cost of opening and closing, closing, stock of WIP, WIP is adjusted, adjusted to arrive, to arrive at 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 factory cost slash overheads, to arrive at factory cost slash overheads. This WIP concept is something which we will study in process costing. Fine. That is one more chapter. Further write down quality control cost, quality control cost. In that write down, this is the cost of resources, consumed towards quality control procedures, just write this one and forget about it. Okay, that's it. Quality control procedures, done. Okay, this is something which you will never see again other than this part. Fine on this? If at all there is a quality control cost which they are going to provide, straight away they are going to give you, this is the amount which is going to be a quality control cost, which you are supposed to use it. That's it. Fine. There will be no adjustments as such here. Done. Further write down, research and development cost. Research and development cost. Research and development cost. It includes those R&D costs, which is incurred for the improvement of process, system, product, or services, product, or services, Fine. Yeah. Further write down, administrative overheads. Administrative, administrative overheads. Further write down, administrative, administrative overheads. Administrative overheads. Overheads. Done. Make sense? Perfect. Okay. In that write down, it includes those administrative overheads. It includes those administrative overheads which are related to production. This is very important because later on one more administrative cost will come that is related to selling. Fine? Yeah. This is related to production. Write down. It includes only administrative overheads which are related to production. Which are related to production. Fine on this, guys? Anything which is related to production, only that administrative overhead will be coming here. Fine on this? Perfect. Further write down. Packing cost. Packing cost. In that write down. Packing material, material, which is essential to hold and preserve the product for its use by the customer, for its products, for its use by the customer, Are we clear on this, guys? Fine. Okay. So by doing all this, what do we get actually? Cost of production. Pakka. So we get cost of production. If at all I add opening stock of finished goods and if I deduct closing stock of finished goods, what do I get? If I do this? There is a cost of production. What is cost of production? The amount of money I spent to produce a certain amount of goods, correct? Yeah. For this, if I add opening stock of finished goods and if I deduct closing stock of finished goods, what do I get? Cost of goods sold. Are we clear on this? So basically, cost of goods which has been sold or cost of goods which has been consumed. Can I say that much, guys? So this cost of production means something which I have produced. Can I say that much? Pretty much easy. Okay. So I previously already have around 250 units of finished goods which are there with me. And now after incurring all these costs, I will finally produce another 1000 units. Done on this also. And on top of this, I will keep 300 goods with me only. How much did I sell then? I already have 250. I have produced 1000. And out of this, I am keeping 300 for myself. How much did I sell? Huh? 950. So can I say 1000 plus 250, 1250 minus 300 is what we are going to do, correct? In the starting, we learned something. What is it? Opening stock plus production or purchase, whatever it is equal to consumed plus closing stock. Is that the same formula we are applying here? Is it easy now? Fine. Chalo, write down. Cost of production. Try to change the color of your pen. This is more like a table. Okay. Cost of production. For that, add opening stock of finished goods and deduct closing stock of finished goods. Closing stock of finished goods. Good to go, guys? Yes. Shall we continue? Like, stop here. And after this, start with cost of goods sold only. Or 1 minute. Yeah. Below this, write down one more thing. The COGS means the COGS, comma. It is calculated after adjusting the values of opening and and closing stocks, closing stocks of finished goods, opening and closing closing stocks of 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 finished goods. Are we clear on this? Further write down cost of sales. Cost of cost of sales. In that write down, please. It is the total cost of sales. Cost of sales. In that write down. It is the total cost of a product. It is the total cost of a product incurred, incurred, incurred to make the product, to make the product available to the customer, to the customer, or consumer, available to the customer or consumer. Full stop. In the next line, write down, continue there. In the next line, continue. It includes cost of goods sold, cost of goods sold, comma, administration, and marketing expenses, administration and marketing expenses. So in that case, can I say that COGS is going to work something like this? Add administrative overheads, add selling overheads and distribution overheads, and also if we need packing cost. Fine. So if we add all this, what do we get? Cost of sales. Are we clear on this, guys? Fine. Chalo, please write down. Done. Chalo. So further write down. Administrative overheads. In that write down. It is the cost related to. It is the cost related to general administration of the entity. It is the cost related to general administration of the entity. General administration of the entity. Done. Next write down. Selling overheads. Selling overheads. It is a cost related with. It is a cost related with sale of products or services. It is a cost related with sale of products or services. Sale of product or services. Next write down packing cost. Packing cost. Sorry, sir. Distribution cost. Write down. Right. Distribution cost. It includes the cost related with making the goods available to the customers. Making the goods available to the customers. Goods available to the customers. Then write down packing cost. In a bracket, write down secondary. See, when you purchase a phone, right? It's already packed from the factory itself, correct? But you order from Flipkart, again they will have an additional packaging, correct? This is the additional packaging they are doing. Okay, so packing cost in bracket, write down secondary. Continue further. Packing material that enables to store, transform, inform the customer, promote, promote, and otherwise, make the product marketable, and otherwise, make the product, marketable, make the product marketable. Are we clear on this, guys? Done? Easy or difficult until here, everybody? Easy? Okay. So there's one homework which you guys are supposed to do here. That is, can you guys please create a cost sheet and come to the class tomorrow? Based on whatever we have learned now. Fine? But yeah, please don't use so much of your brain. Don't open your textbook. Check the cost sheet, copy paste, don't do it. Okay? Based on whatever you have studied, inclusive of all these things, we will get what? Cost sheet. Is that correct? If you guys remember, in the starting, prime cost plus factory overhead, cost of production plus other costs, cost of goods sold plus selling and administrative costs, cost of sales. Correct? That is what you are supposed to figure out. But what you should do now is merge all the tables, whatever we have built, and figure out one table. That one table is nothing but what? A cost sheet. Can you guys please do that? Fine? Done. Okay. So now one more important thing for your understanding. See, the whole costing, you take be it in CA, be it in CS, CMA, whatever it is, it's always going to be divided into three parts. Okay. The first part is basics or introduction, you can say. Okay. Here we study about material, labor, and overheads. Fine. And next part is going to be methods. And the next part is going to be called as what? Techniques of cost. Fine on this? Yeah. So here in methods, we are going to study different types of costing we are going to use in our daily lives. For example, if you are running an academy, what kind of a cost are we supposed to look for? If you are, having a proper mechanic shop, if you are someone, who does a service, what kind of costing should be there? If you are someone who is manufacturing products, what kind of a, costing should be there? These are all the points which we study here: process, job, joint and byproduct, and also service costing, okay, etc., etc. Fine on this? Now, you have done the costing, but somewhere you want to compare, right? You want to take a judgment. Like I say, I have got 75% and I believe I am the best. But this person will come and say, you know what, I've got 90%. Only then I get to know, right? Okay, I'm not so best. There's one more guy who is really good. Correct, right? So that's the reason we compare. We always have a budget in our mind, correct? Whenever you plan to write your exam, you think, I will score somewhere around 250. If you score more than 250, you're happy. If you score less than 250, you'll think, why did I score less than this? So we will always do this comparison. That all those things is what we will do here, based on whatever we are learning here. Fine. This techniques of costing will be happening on the weekends. Fine on this, guys? And for your information, this techniques of costing is very important for your exams. Okay? Somewhere, be very sure, more than 20 plus marks you can score just in techniques of costing. Minimum I'm speaking about. Fine on this? So, don't miss the weekends classes, and weekdays classes as well, it will be running. But at the same time, focus on this and this. If these two are sorted, right, this is going to be very easy. Just like that, it will happen. Fine? Good to go? Chalo? Chalo. With this, let's end the session for today. Let's again connect tomorrow.